Lin Fan's consciousness felt as if he had fallen into the endless void, and the cold data flow instantly enveloped his body. The dazzling blue light flashed, and he opened his eyes and was already in the novice village square of Eternal Continent. The air was filled with the moist smell of soil and wild flowers. Players were bustling around, sword lights flashed, and monsters roared endlessly. Billions of players from around the world gathered here, and the servers buzzed like heartbeats, faintly trembling with instability. Ding! Welcome to Eternal Continent, Novice Player ID, Fanchen, Initial Level 1, All Attributes 0. The system's cold prompt sounded in his mind. Lin Fan frowned, and scanned the panel: Strength 0, Agility 0, Endurance 0, Intelligence 0. Even a novice pheasant cannot chop down a pheasant with his bare hands. This is the starting point for every newcomer, but it makes him impatient. Beside the square, a group of level 10 players were laughing around a fire. The leader, a strong man carrying a rusty iron sword, taunted, "Look over there, that level 1 waste is still in a daze. Man, hurry up and farm the pheasants, don't be an eyesore." The surrounding area burst into laughter, and someone threw a stone, which hit Lin Fan's feet, raising dust. Lin Fan was indifferent. He was no ordinary player. In reality, he was a top hacker who could invade any system. He had already sensed something strange about this game server. Suddenly, a metallic voice sounded in his mind: "Ding! The crisis prediction system has awakened. A server core bug has been detected, a data flood is about to break out, and the entire server will collapse within 7 days. The host Lin Fan, the only foreseer, has a mission: to resolve the crisis and reward the god-level profession, Server Guardian. Lin Fan's pupils shrank suddenly, and a blood-red countdown appeared in his vision: 168 hours. Crash. The data of hundreds of millions of players has evaporated, and the real economy has collapsed. He took a deep breath, suppressed his shock, and murmured, "I see, this bug is not a coincidence." "Brother Fan." "This way," came the familiar clear female voice. Lin Fan turned his head and saw Su Wan dressed in novice cloth, with a pretty face and a reddish color, holding a wooden staff in her hand. She is a childhood sweetheart, proficient in design and logistics in the game, and the panel shows that the mage talent is S level. "You finally logged in. That guy Han Xiao is attacking monsters at the front. Hurry up and form a team. The 3 of us will reach level 10 before we finish." Lin Fan nodded, the team invitation popped up, and the 3 of them locked in. Han Xiao's ID flashed in the forest ahead. He was a top warrior with gnarled muscles. He wielded an iron axe and chopped down wild wolves, causing blood to spray and a fishy wind to hit his face. "Huh, Sister Su, Lin Fan, you're finally here. The monsters in the novice village are too weak. I'll kill them with a strength +5 in one shot. Come on, try your 0 attribute, don't hold back." The passers-by players around snickered. How dare that level 1 loser dare to form a team? Look how he was bitten to death by a wolf. The taunts came like a flood. Lin Fan raised the corners of his mouth slightly, ignored them, and followed the team deep into the forest outside the novice village. The shadows of the trees were whirling, the wind was filled with wolf howls and player screams, and the ground was stained with blood. The first wave of wild wolves pounced, 6 gray-haired ferocious beasts with flashing red eyes, each with level 3 and attack power of 15. Han Xiao yelled, "I'm in the front row." The axe flashed like lightning, killing both ends. Blood splashed on his armor, making a sizzling and corroding sound. But the wolves were agile and bypassed him and pounced on the back row. Su Wan chanted the fireball, which roared and exploded, scorching the fur of one wolf and filling the air with a burning smell, but the remaining 3 were approaching. "Lin Fan, get out of the way!" Su Wan exclaimed, but Lin Fan stood still. Driven by hacker intuition, he caught a glimpse of a crack hidden behind the tree, a subtle data distortion, the air humming like broken glass, the source of the server bug. "This is it. He whispered, activated the hacking skill, data probe, clicked in the void with his finger, and invisible ripples spread. Ding! Hidden rift bug detected, data is overflowing. Absorb the overflowing energy, agility +10, +20, +50. The panel jumped wildly, Lin Fan's figure flashed, and the afterimage stretched, like a ghost passing by the wolves. The passerby player's eyes widened. What? How come the speed of that level 1 waste suddenly explodes? Agility +50. Impossible. The upper limit of Novice Village is only +10. The wolf's head rushed toward him with one claw, and was crushed open by Lin Fan's bare hands. His brains splattered everywhere, and fishy heat sprayed on his face. He spun around and kicked out. The other wolf's ribs were broken and he fell to the ground howling miserably. Han Zhao's axe was still in the air, and he was stunned. Brother Fan, what the hell are you doing? 3 wolves in 1 second at level 1. My strength +5 only cut off 2 heads, and your agility reached 50. Is the system plugged in? His voice was trembling, and his eyes were full of disbelief. Su Wanmei's eyes widened, she dropped her cane, and the embers of the fireball were still floating in the air. Lin Fan, your panel, has +50 agility and is still level 1. Is this crack a bug? The server is leaking data. She picked up the wooden staff and trembled with excitement, it's so powerful. We have to use this to build a guild. Su Wan's designer mode is activated. I drew a preliminary sketch, the Phoenix logo, symbolizing the rebirth buff. The 3 of them cleaned up the wolf corpses, experiencing a surge of experience. Lin Fan took the lead in leveling up to level 10, and his panel shone, strength 15, agility 50, endurance 20, and intelligence 30. Han Xiao rubbed his eyes, I worked hard for 2 hours to get to level 10, and you exploded in 1 wave. Passers-by were dumbfounded. Sure enough, the surrounding players gathered around, and someone knelt down, Master, lead me. Your agility is +50, and you can't even wear novice equipment. This is a god-level start. Jealous eyes were like daggers, and someone gritted his teeth, a hacker. The server is going to crash, how does he know about the crack? Lin Fan smiled lightly, low-key, keep playing. But his heart was filled with confusion. System warning, the whole server will be destroyed in 7 days, this crack is just the tip of the iceberg. Su Wan has drawn a sketch, and the outline of the phoenix is projected in the void, with flames swirling. The draft of the guild logo, after upgrade, will increase the rebirth speed of all by 20%, perfect for dealing with collapse. Han Xiao, you are on the front line to test your combat effectiveness. Han Xiao nodded and rushed towards the next wave of elite wild boars, 10 level 8 monsters with fangs like knives. The ground shook and soil splashed. He yelled, Phoenix buff simulation, temporary increase in power. The light of the axe surged, cutting off the pig's head with one blow, a fountain of blood gushed out, reaching a height of 30 meters, and the fishy wind was pungent. The pigs counterattacked, and Han Xiao was almost knocked away. Lin Fan appeared quickly, jumped up with his feet on the pigs' backs, and hit his fists like meteorites. The bones of the pigs were shattered, and the experience bar surged. Ding! All teams have been upgraded to level 10. The system prompt rang, and Su Wan cheered, Lin Fan, your rift absorption is so incredible. Players in the whole village are still struggling with 0 attributes, and we are already 1 street ahead. The passerby player's face was ashen, and someone hit him keyboard, why can he get +50 agility? I can only gain +2 after a day of grinding. It's not fair. Server bug, he cheated. There were a wave of shocked whispers, and some people worshipped, God. Follow the great God, has the guild recruited people? Lin Fan noticed that the crack was widening, the torrent of data was surging faintly, the air was twisted like a whirlpool, and the data of distant players began to flicker unsteadily. No, the crisis has accelerated. He murmured, and just as he was about to investigate further, the system's blood-red alarm sounded. Emergency mission released, go deep into the core of the rift and obtain the hidden profession, Data Guardian. The time limit is 1 hour, otherwise the data of all players in Novice Village will evaporate and the collapse will spread to the entire server. Countdown, 59 minutes and 59 seconds. Han Xiao gasped, and the axe fell to the ground. What? The whole village evaporated? Brother Fan, how do we get in? The data is flowing in the rift, and agility plus 50 can't handle it. Su Wan's pretty face turned pale, and the sketch projection trembled. Lin Fan, choose us. But this risk, the end of the whole server will start from the Novice Village. Lin Fan's eyes were firm, and the black light shone deep in the crack, hiding endless crises and opportunities. The surrounding players noticed the abnormality and screamed in panic, the server is stuck. My panel is disappearing. The stench of evaporated data came like a tide. Lin Fan stepped in and the afterimages disappeared. Follow me, the reversal starts from here. The dark giant shadow was like a mountain overturned, the data stormed deep and the crack roared into madness. Countless blue code fragments cut the air like sharp ice blades, scratching Lin Fan's skin. The blood instantly evaporated into data smoke, and the pungent smell of burnt electricity hit his face. Han Xiao raised the iron axe high, and the veins on his muscled arms popped out, but he was thrown away by the storm and hit the twisted virtual wall hard. The bones cracked, and he spat out a mouthful of blood, his voice trembling. Fan, Brother Fan. What the hell is this? What's the guardian beast? The level mark. It's Super S level, with an attack power of 9999 plus. How can we withstand it with a level 10 agility? His eyes were as wide as copper bells, and the iron axe broke into 2 pieces, and sparks flew everywhere. In the rift, the data storm roared, and countless code fragments cut through the air like sharp blades. Lin Fan's agility plus 50 figure shuttled through, but he heard Su Wan screaming, there's something chasing me from behind. A giant black shadow rushed towards me, the server guardian beast. The crisis is imminent. The word count is about 2,450. Lin Fan's figure with plus 50 agility pulled out an afterimage in the storm, but was also swept by the claw wind. A bloody mark was torn on his chest. The pain was like thousands of needles piercing the bones. He gritted his teeth and roared, hang on, this is the boss that protects the core. Kill it to trigger the trigger. Career change. But the Scorpion King's tail hook swept forward, purple electricity exploded, the ground melted into glass, and the heat wave burned his skin. Lin Fan was unable to dodge and was knocked 10 meters away. He hit the virtual wall, blood gushed out from his mouth, and the panel's HP dropped to 10%. The surrounding data was engulfed in turbulence like a whirlpool, and everything was in despair. Passerby players poked their heads at the edge of the outer forest, their faces ashen, and someone shouted, 3 level 10 lunatics inside entered the rift? I heard the roar of the Scorpion King, and the level showed Super S, whoever enters will die. Their data will evaporate, and the server crisis starts from here. Su Wan's pretty face was as pale as paper, and the stick's light was dim. She stumbled as she stepped back, and her knees hit the data rock. Blood oozed out, mixed with the smell of burnt plasma. She screamed, Lin Fan, back off. This beast is as big as a mountain, with an HP bar of 100,000 plus. With one swipe of the data claw, our entire team was evaporated. The server bug mutated, and there are only 58 minutes left in the mission countdown. Players outside the Novice Village are already screaming that the panels have disappeared. Her beautiful eyes were full of panic, and her fingers trembled as she pointed at the giant shadow, a data Scorpion King condensed from the collapse code. Han Xiao climbed up, her legs were weak, and her voice was as hoarse as a broken gong, Brother Fan, we were wrong. This is not a dungeon created by humans, retreat. My tank's health bar has been cleared, and my strength plus 5 has become a waste. Su Wan's eyes were filled with tears, and she chanted the fireball but was interrupted by the storm. The magic backlash made her cough up blood. Lin Fan, the designed Phoenix logo has not been uploaded yet. The guild's dream is over, the whole server is doomed and we will die first. Ridicule and despair flooded the world, and passers-by outside the rift whispered, "Look, the pretentious guy with plus 50 agility just now has been turned into a data scum by the Scorpion King. This is the end of the legend of Novice Village, haha." His figure rushed forward, his agility plus 50 turned into an afterimage, his hands were like hooks inserted into the Scorpion King's carapace, the data probe exploded, and the Scorpion King's HP bar dropped by 20%. The purple electricity backfired, Lin Fan's skin was charred, and the electricity rushed through his body like thousands of ants gnawing at his bones, but he gritted his teeth and said, "Activate control." The blue light boomed, the Scorpion King's movement stiffened, and the tail hook exploded out of control. The explosion sounded like thunder, fragments rained down, and burnt stinking plasma splashed everywhere. Han Zhao's eyes widened, the handle of the axe fell to the ground, and his voice trembled to the point of breaking off, "Brother Fan. Fan. Are you fucking tearing apart an S-level boss? HP rebound?" The Scorpion King self-mutilated. "This operation, a god-level hacker. My dream of a tank is shattered, and you are killing a super S-level monster in a 1v1. Su Wan covered her mouth, opened her beautiful eyes to the limit, and the light of the cane rekindled. "Lin Fan, your panel, the power has skyrocketed. Look, plus 200. Intelligence plus 150. This is the bug hunter career change, the data manipulation skill is unlocked at the maximum level, and the attribute overflow can be rewritten at will." She was so excited that her face was red, and her tears were not yet dry, but she had already rushed to hug Lin Fan's arm. The surrounding cracks trembled, the Scorpion King howled miserably, HP returned to 0, and the crystal core stone exploded. Lin Fan crushed it with a punch, and energy filled his body like a flood. Ding. Congratulations on getting the hidden profession, Bug Hunter. All attributes are permanently plus 500%, current panel, strength 215, agility 250, endurance 220, intelligence 180. Skill, data manipulation, can control the source of bugs, absorb/transfer attributes. Just as the Scorpion King raised his giant claws, preparing to strike the final blow, Lin Fan's eyes flashed with a hacker's cold light. He endured the pain, activated the data probe, and invisible ripples penetrated the core of the Scorpion King. Bite. The system exploded, detect the source of the bug. Trigger the hidden event, Bug Hunter Trial. Kill the data Scorpion King, obtain the hidden profession, Bug Hunter, and unlock the skill, data manipulation. The panel flashed crazily, Lin Fan laughed, his blood-stained face twisted. "Come on, Scorpion. I'll suck all your data." Lin Fan gasped and stood still, the golden light on the panel shone, and he glanced with a smile. "Su Wan, the guild is established. The Divine Beast Alliance is now online." Su Wan nodded, her pretty face was excited, and her beautiful eyes twinkled. She activated the designer mode and projected the Phoenix logo in the void, the flaming phoenix fluttering its wings, with eyes like stars, a wingspan of hundreds of meters, surrounded by golden and red flames. The buff details emerged, plus 20% team rebirth speed, plus 15% data stability, 50% resistance to collapse. Her fingers fluttered and uploaded to the system. Ding. Server-wide announcement, the Divine Beast Alliance is established. Exclusive customization of the Phoenix logo. President Fanchen invites masters from all over the world to join for a trial. First day benefits, join to upgrade to level 1, and share bug resources. The announcement thundered across the server, exploding in the minds of hundreds of millions of players, and the image was projected over the square, with the Phoenix logo shining brightly like the sun. Players in Novice Village stared and screamed, server-wide announcement. The S-level design of the new guild's Phoenix logo is so beautiful. The buff is anti-collapse. The server crisis prediction has come true, this guild leader is a prophet. Han Xiao laughed, picked up the newly exploded equipment Iron Axe plus 10, and his strength increased again 50, he roared, "Brother Fan is amazing. My warrior panel is controlled by data, and the power is 265. Charge to clear the monsters, and the guild will be upgraded." He rushed towards the elite area, the light of his axe was like a tornado, a group of 10 wild boars instantly, flesh and blood flew everywhere, and a torrent of experience poured into the guild warehouse. The rift collapsed, the blue light dissipated, and the 3 people were ejected from the forest. When they landed, the ground sunken, and the players in the novice village square were stunned. Passerby A rubbed his eyes and screamed, "The rift just exploded. Those 3 people came out alive." Panel scan, strength 215. The strength of a level 10 novice broke 200. A red warning filled the screen, "This is a top GM account, right?" Another player gritted his teeth in jealousy and smashed the keyboard, "I have been getting strength plus 10 for 3 days, and he sucked bugs and exploded?" The Black King. "But, it's so damn strong, worship." The ridicule turned to worship, and the bustling crowd knelt down to surround them, the air was filled with the residual smell of blood and electric burns. Lin Fan laid out the guild's headquarters, directed the residual energy of the rift to condense into a fortress, and with a wave of data manipulation, the stone wall rose from the ground, towering 100 meters high, the Phoenix logo brand shined, and the buff covered the entire area. Passers-by and players poured in around them, their eyes burning with jealousy. Why are we still struggling with 0 attributes, and the Divine Beast Alliance just exploded and took off? The logo spread too fast, the whole village wants it. Xiao was on the front line, wild monster corpses were everywhere, rivers of blood were flowing, and it was fishy. The wind stung his nose, and he yelled, "Guild level 1 to 2. Experience 99%. Ding! Upgrade successful. Station expansion, all attributes +1. Brother Fan, with your magical manipulation skills, the core stone dropped by the Scorpion King can also upgrade the equipment to epic level." In an instant, the application pop-up window went crazy, the first batch of 50 masters flashed their IDs, Mage Luo Li, S-level output, Assassin Shadow Blade, Tank Iron Wall, etc., all of whom were among the top 100 in the server. Luo Li's voice connected, and her voice was clear and trembling, "President Fanchen. Rumors about your bug hunter profession have exploded, and the video of the Agility 250S level boss has gone viral. The Phoenix logo buff is perfect. I, Luo Li, have joined us, and the frontline magic is clearing the ground." Players interacted enthusiastically, and the guild channel refreshed the screen, "Master, take him flying. Strength 215, bare-handed boss, worship." What about the dogs of Jiang Chen's Dark Dynasty? They have a team at the border. A crisis emerges at the end of the chapter. At the guild border, the Dark Dynasty team broke in. 5 level 20 elites and the leading assassin laughed sinisterly. President Jiang Chen ordered, "The rift resources belong to the Dark Dynasty. That level 10 black hanger in Fanchen, with a strength of 215. Laugh to death, brothers, grab the core stone and destroy the Divine Beast Alliance station." Xiao swung his axe and blocked the way, with a thunderous voice, "Get out. Who dares to get involved in the Phoenix territory?" The team laughed sarcastically, "Level 20 vs level 10 guild. I'm going to crush you." But Lin Fan's figure flashed, the air was distorted, and the enemy panel suddenly dropped in strength by -100. The assassin stared and screamed, "What? Attributes evaporated? President, help me, this is a server conspiracy." Jiang Chen's voice from the far end sneered, "Interesting, Fanchen, my Dark Dynasty has remembered it. Rifts, all server resources, I want to decide." The guild was bustling like a city, with 50 masters having a trial carnival. Luo Li was pouring fire and rain, killing hundreds of monsters. The earth was scorched and smoke was rising into the sky. She gasped and admired, "Guild President, you have an intelligence of 180. Data manipulation transfers my output plus 100%, and a wave of AOE clears the place. This guild is incredible. Su Wan was busy with logistics. The logo virus spread. Screenshots of the whole server were flooded. Players scrambled, the Divine Beast Alliance is hiring. Phoenix buff is a life-saving straw. The server is trembling. Lin Fan commanded in a low-key manner, and his heart was in turmoil. The whole server was in crisis for 168 hours, and the source of bugs was more than one. That guy Jiang Chen. The assassin leader smiled sinisterly, the cold light of the dagger flashed, and the level 20 panel flashed with a red threat, mortal world. Just a level 10 black hanger, a strength of 215. There is a bug in the system, brothers, go ahead. Grab the core stone and destroy the station. The 5 people rushed like ghosts, with agility plus 80 pulling out the afterimage. The poisonous blade pierced the air, the hissing wind was harsh, and the smell of dust splashed on the ground. Han Zhao's iron axe swept across, with a power of 265. The wind of the axe was like a tornado, but he was dodged by the assassin. He was stabbed in the shoulder, and the green mist of poisonous blood rose up, and his HP dropped by 30%. He groaned and knelt down, with a hoarse voice, "Fuck. The level is suppressed, I can't catch up with agility, and my tank's health bar is red." The passers-by players around him retreated and screamed, "The Dark Dynasty is a level 20 elite, and the Divine Beast Alliance is kneeling just after it is established. The Phoenix logo buff can't stop the level difference even if it resists collapse." Su Wan's pretty face turned pale, and she swung her wooden staff sharply. The golden light of the Phoenix buff was scattered, and the team's plus 15% data was stable. However, she was ridiculed by the assassins, little designers, no matter how beautiful the logo is, I can't save you. Brother Jiang Chen said, all the resources of the novice village belong to us. Luo Liqing's cold eyes narrowed, the fireball condensed, but was blocked by the wind wall when it blasted out. The aftermath of the explosion hit her face with scorching heat, she bit her lip, the output is suppressed, the level 20 shield is too strong, and my S-level spell hit rate dropped by 50%. The guild channel was full of panic, guild president, retreat. They have Jiang Chen's long-range buff, and the power rebounded and our board evaporated. Passers-by jeered, the Divine Beast Alliance blew up to the sky, but the 5-person team collapsed. Where is He Guofanchen? Hiding? Huh, it's a joke in the novice village. Lin Fan's eyes were like daggers, invisible ripples spread through data manipulation, the air twisted and buzzed, and the enemy panel suddenly flashed a red alert, strength minus 150, agility minus 100. The assassin stared and howled. The leader dropped his dagger and knelt down twitching, what the hell? Attributes cleared. My attack power dropped from 250 to 50, system error. Han Xiao laughed and got up, the axe fell like thunder, the sound of bones cracking, the flesh and blood flying and the stench filling his nose. He killed 2 people with 1 axe, Brother Fan's magic. They are brittle to paper, I will suck the tank. Luo Li rained down fire, killing the remaining 3 people. The corpses were smoking, and the heat was rolling. Her beautiful eyes flashed with admiration, the president's data is transferred, my output is plus 200, and the area is cleared in 1 wave. This manipulation is unbelievable. Su Wan hugged Lin Fan's arm and trembled with excitement. Lin Fan, did you foresee it? Scanning the panel, they all evaporated, and the guild reputation plus 500. The entire team was wiped out and the fragments of the core stone were scattered. Lin Fan inhaled it with a wave of his hand, and the guild warehouse was upgraded. Passers-by players knelt down in worship and screamed, destroyed level 20 elites in 5 seconds. The mortal power is 215, the level is useless. The Divine Beast Alliance is undefeated, join and let's go. Guild applications surged by thousands, and the whole server chat exploded, the Dark Dynasty team was wiped out. The video spread, Mortal Bug Hunter is the real god. Jiang Chen Yuan's voice came intermittently, with a sneer mixed with anger. Fangchen, remember, this is an appetizer. Lin Fan smiled lightly. Han Xiao, Su Wan, Luo Li, follow me. Shadow Cave, in the novice village, is the second source of server bugs. The prediction system shows that the first boss killed will drop a divine outfit, and the guild will take off. Everyone rushed towards the entrance of the cave. The dark cave entrance was like a giant beast's blood basin. The wind was howling and mixed with the stench of mold and rot. Passers-by and players gathered around to watch and murmur, Shadow Cave. Forbidden area of the novice village, 3 waves of mobs plus Shadow Demon King, boss level 30, attack power 5000 plus, countless guild groups destroyed. Are you going to give away the 10th level of the Divine Beast Alliance? Level crushing, laugh to death. The guild channel was flooded with questions. The president is crazy. Are we crazy? The average level is 11, and the tank Han Zhao's strength is 265, but he can't withstand the Demon King's AoE. Han Xiao swallowed his saliva while holding the axe, and the Iron Tower's body trembled slightly. Brother Fan, the shadow mobs inside have an agility of plus 120, and if they attack the poison fog in groups, my health bar will evaporate if they absorb damage from the front line. Su Wanmei's eyes were panicked, and she clenched her wooden staff tightly. The buff is only fully activated for 30 seconds, and Luo Li's output can't keep up with the monster clearing, and all the mobs will be wiped out in 3 waves. The dim light of the torch flickered in the cave, and the sound of footsteps echoed like a ghost's cry. The first wave of shadow rats came in, hundreds of black shadows screamed, green poison dripped from their claws, the ground was scorching and corroding, and the sour stench was pungent. Han Xiao charged forward, killing 10 of them with the light of his axe. Plasma splattered all over his face, but he was bitten by a swarm of rats, losing 40% of his HP. He roared and retreated, I can't catch up quickly. The poison debuff stack is full, my stamina is minus 50, my tank is useless. Luo Li bombed with fireballs, scorching 10 of them, and the smoke choked her nose, but the rat swarm regenerated and her HP returned. She gasped, the S-level output cannot be cleared completely. The magic power is exhausted, and the backlash is painful. Su Wan's buff golden light spread, and her rebirth speed increased by 20%, but she was knocked down by the Rat King. Her claw marks tore her clothes and blood seeped out. She screamed, Lin Fan, I can't hold on. The guild knelt down in the first battle, which is a joke to the whole server. A passerby's live broadcast flooded the screen. The Divine Beast Alliance entered the cave for 5 minutes, and the rats suppressed it. Where is Mortal? The Black Link has failed. Countdown to group destruction. Lin Fan's eyes flashed red in anticipation of the crisis, and he shouted, data manipulation, seal weaknesses. Invisible ripples penetrated the core of the rat swarm, ding. The system resounded, the source of the bug is locked. The shadow rat's weakness is the core of the poisonous mist, and the control is transferred to the boss to warm up. The rat swarm stiffened, and the poisonous mist blew back and exploded. The chain of explosions was like fireworks, corpses flew everywhere, and the stench of burnt blood filled the air. Han Xiao stared as the axe fell to the ground, and his voice trembled intermittently, Brother Fan, cleared 100 heads in an instant. The Rat King's HP dropped from 50 to 0, and you transferred the debuff. My health bar is full, and my strength is plus 100, soaring to 365. Luo Li covered her mouth, and her beautiful eyes widened. The president's foresight is accurate, and I will output the relay, and a wave of AoE will be transferred, and the magic power is unlimited. This team is invincible. The second wave of shadow ghost soldiers rushed out, the iron chains clanked on the ground, the ghost fire was wrapped around the face, and the attack power was 3000 plus. The shield resisted Luo Li's fire rain, and Han Zhao's axe smashed into sparks. His arms were numb in the reaction. He vomited blood and knelt down. The ghost soldiers' defense is ineffective in breaking armor, they can't sustain the continuous attacks, and their endurance is reduced to 0. Su Wan's chanting was interrupted, and the ghost claw hit her waist. The pain was like fire, and her eyes were filled with tears. The debuff of the whole team overlaps, and the rebirth buff cannot stop it. Retreat to the cave entrance. The guild members broadcast the panic remotely. President, the ghost soldiers hit 3 times in a row. Our hearts stopped watching. Passers-by outside the cave laughed. Suppressed again, the Divine Beast Alliance failed to show off, and no one was the first to kill in the Shadow Cave. Lin Fan's silhouette rushed forward, with 250 lightning agility. He pressed his palm into the core of the ghost soldier, and the data manipulation erupted with blue light. Predict the weakness, the iron chain bug cycle, transfer and self-destruct. The ghost soldier's panel flashed wildly, the iron chains wrapped around each other out of control, and exploded with each other. The roar was deafening, debris hit the ground like rain, and the smell of hot iron filled the sky. Luo Li screamed in admiration, Guildmaster, tear the Defense King apart. You can transfer my fire rain to penetrate, and hit 20 heads in 1 second. With an intelligence of 180 and prediction, I am willing to defeat an S-level mage. Han Xiao got up and laughed, and danced with his axe and used the strength of plus 200 to increase by 500, killing the tail. Brother Fan's plan, the second wave of ashes. Guild experience surges, all levels are 13. The third wave of shadow elves came, confusing the phantom clones. The wind blades cut the air like a rain of knives, whistling and piercing. Su Wan's eyes were blurred by the illusion. She screamed and fell to the ground. The clones are infinite, the buff is invalid, the whole team cuts each other. Han Xiao swung his axe randomly and accidentally injured his teammates, and blood blossomed. He roared, even with 250 agility, you can't dodge. Phantom DE buff intelligence minus 100, I turned into a pig teammate. Luo Li's fireball was empty, the magic power was exhausted, and he coughed up blood. President, the boss door is open, but we will destroy the internal strife first. Thousands of people outside the cave watched the live broadcast, and the barrage exploded. 3 waves of suppression of the Divine Beast Alliance, the mortal black hanger is ineffective. The whole server is laughing. Jiang Chen dynasty is mocking. Lin Fan laughed, predicting the crisis and locking in, the source of the bug, phantom data overflow. Manipulate the seal. He held his hands in vain, the blue light net fell, the elf clone disintegrated and his true body was exposed, the wind blade counterattacked and killed itself, the scream was like a ghost's cry, and the blood mist was steaming and rancid. Su Wan came back to her senses and rushed forward, hugging Lin Fan's waist and trembling, Lin Fan, you are amazing. The core of the precognition illusion, a single thought breaks the game, my designer buff is superimposed, rebirth plus 50%. Han Zhao's eyes widened, and the handle of the axe hit the ground, the third wave of instant kills. Brother Fan has full attribute control, we use the power of the panel to explode, enter the boss. The boss door burst open, and the Shadow Demon King stood like a black tower, with purple eyes, 500,000 HP, and 6,000 plus attack. He waved his giant scythe, and a 10-meter deep trench opened on the ground, and a sinister wind blew through his bones. The Demon King's roar shook the roof of the cave and rubble rained down, intruder, die. The sickle shadow swept forward in the first combo, Han Zhao's shield was shattered, he flew out and hit the wall with broken bones, blood sprayed like mist, HP 1%, failed to absorb damage. The Demon King broke armor 9999, the tank will evaporate. Luo Li AOE fire the rain poured down, but the magic rebounded, scorching the corners of her clothes. She retreated in pain, the output cannot penetrate the shield, the magic is locked. Su Wan's buff was empty, and the sickle wind tore the shield. She knelt down in tears, the whole team was red, the guild's first kill was shattered, and the server crisis is a joke. Thousands of people outside the cave screamed in the live broadcast, the Demon King is suppressed, the Divine Beast Alliance is on its knees. Level 30 vs 13, instant kill without any suspense. The guild channel flooded the screen in despair, President, withdraw. Jiang Chen dynasty is watching the battle and laughing. Lin Fan stood up with blood stains on his face, with a hacker's cold look in his eyes. Predicted bug, Demon King's Scythe Blade data loop weakness, now sealed. Data manipulation flooded into the boss core like a tide, ding. Weakness exposed. The Scythe Blade locks itself, diverting the attack to itself. The Demon King's giant scythe reversed and cut itself, the carapace exploded and purple blood spurted out, HP dropped by 40%, howling like thunder, the cave shook and dust flew up. Xiao stood up with eyes wide open, his voice trembling and intermittent. Brother Fan, the boss committed suicide. The HP lost 40,000, your control is at full level, and you can tear down the level 30 king with your magical skills. I borrow 500 of my strength and charge. His axe flashed like a tornado, breaking through armor and slashing continuously, and blood and flesh flew across his nose. Luo Li's fire rain transferred plus 300 output and exploded into a sea of flames. The scorched corpses were billowing in heat. She screamed in admiration, President's intelligence is transferred, I'll clear 80,000 HP with a wave of AoE. The S-level mage worships me. Su Wan's buffs were fully stacked, and the phoenix flames protected her body. The whole team was reborn in an instant. She threw herself at Lin Fan and hugged Lin Fan. Lin Fan, the whole team has a tacit understanding, and the first kill is in sight. The Demon King went berserk. In the second stage, hundreds of shadow clones danced into a web and cut the air and screamed. However, Lin Fan flashed with foresight and tore the core of the clone with his hands. The blue light exploded continuously, cycle bug, suck them all. The boss's HP returned to 0, the explosion shook the sky, and the core was shattered with golden light. Bite! The whole server announced, the Divine Beast Alliance kills the Shadow Cave for the first time. Obtained the Phoenix Divine Wings suit, attack plus 500, all attributes plus 300. The guild's reputation exploded to plus 10,000. The projection of the suit, Phoenix Wingspan Golden Red, covered with Lin Fan and other 4 people, the panel skyrocketed like crazy. Lin Fan's power 715, agility 750, Han Zhao's power 965, Luo Li's output 2000 plus, Su Wan's buff god level. The resident Phoenix symbol was in flames, and the buff was activated. All the players of the Divine Beast Alliance were eager to fight. Passers-by players were watching in shock. Dark Dynasty is provoking. The Divine Beast Alliance will not give up. The war has begun, who will be the winner of the end of the server? In the air, blood and electric light intertwined, the crisis escalated. Lin Fan's eyes were like knives. Come on, the layout is completed, the first battle, sweep. Thousands of people outside the cave stared and knelt down, and passers-by screamed, first kill of level 30 boss. Level 10 team attack plus 500, Divine Wings set epic. Fanchen publicly predicted, server has many bugs, crashed for 168 hours, whole server crisis. Divine Beast the savior of the Alliance. The live broadcast was frantic, worship the mortal bug hunter. Phoenix logo plus Divine Wings, the guild is invincible. Is Jiang Chen dynasty giving up? The guild channel was passionate, the president revealed the crisis, and the whole server was hotly debated. Our reputation is number 1. Apply for 100,000. The crisis breaks out at the end of the chapter. Dust was flying outside the station, and Jiang Chen's voice echoed throughout the server, mortal, it's your luck to be the first to kill. The 500-man legion of the Dark Dynasty, with 20 to 30 level elites, are all surrounding the Divine Beast Alliance. Grab all the core stones and bug resources. The guild war begins. The Black Army surged in like a tide, and bows and arrows were fired in volleys. Han Xiao clenched his axe tightly, and his fighting spirit boiled. Brother Fan, this is the first guild conflict, sweep them away. Lin Fan's eyes were like daggers, and his divine wings fluttered with golden light. Here we go, just in time to try out the divine costume. Divine Beast Alliance, fight. The Phoenix logo was in flames, and all buffs were activated. Passers-by watched and screamed, "The war is about to begin. The server is doomed, who will compete with the Divine Beast Alliance?" The rain of arrows was like black clouds, covering the sky and the sun. The whizzing wind was harsh, with the smell of rust and blood. The iron boots of the 500 elite legions of the Dark Dynasty vibrated on the ground. The grass outside the novice village station instantly turned into a Shura field. The archers from the back row fired volleys, arrows clustered like swarms, the HP deduction panel jumped wildly, the health bars of the 100-man forwards of the Divine Beast Alliance were all red, and they screamed, "Level suppression." Their level 20 to 30 bow and arrow attack is 1500 plus, and my crispy mage's HP evaporated by 80%. Han Xiao blocked the iron axe wildly, sparks flying from the axe body. There was a clanking sound, but he was forced back 10 meters by the arrow rain. His shoulders were filled with arrow feathers, the poison arrow debuff was superimposed, and green mist rose. His iron tower body shook and knelt down, and his voice was hoarse and roared, "Brother Fan, flank assault plan. The front line can't handle it. The tanks and my 965 divine wings can't stop the AoE arrow rain, and my endurance has returned to zero." Su Wan's pretty face turned pale, and she quickly swung her wooden staff to buff the golden-red flames of the Phoenix buff. The whole team was reborn plus 50%, but she was chained to the ground by the mage enemy's ice chain. The slowdown trap failed, and the frost froze her ankles. She screamed and slipped. Lin Fan, the trap was purified by their priest. With my designer skill CD, the enemy army was crushed by 500 people. The terrain of the novice village is flat and undefeatable. Luo Li's clear eyes were panicked, and S-class fire rain condensed and blasted out, and the heat wave rolled and burned. The lawn smelled scorching, but only 10 people in the front row were cleared. The shields in the back row pushed against the iron wall, and the fireball bounced and burned herself. She coughed up blood and retreated. Their output is impenetrable. Their level 30 defense buff is plus 2000, and my fire rain 2000 plus is weakened by 50%, and the magic power is locked. The guild channel was filled with despair. Guild president, 100 people versus 500, evacuate the station. Jiang Chen's army has European guild mercenaries, and the archers have 99% accuracy. Thousands of passers-by outside the station watched the live broadcast, and the barrage exploded and taunted, "The Divine Beast Alliance is pretending to be overthrown. It's lucky to kill the boss for the first time," and kneels down in front of the real legion. No matter how awesome the Phoenix wings are, they can't stop the sea of people, and the Dark Dynasty Guild is invincible in battle. Jiang Chen's voice echoed across the server with ridicule, "Cold as a poisonous snake, mortal world, the Black Link is invalid, right? The iron-blooded warriors will charge with 300 shields with a strength of 1200, and grab your core stone, station, and divine wing suit. Watch the show on all servers, and the Divine Beast Alliance will be wiped out." The enemy forward's iron-blooded warriors roared, waving their giant swords and roaring with wind and thunder, killing the players on the edge of the Divine Beast Alliance. Their flesh and blood flew everywhere, and their severed limbs rolled to the ground, roaring in agony. Lin Fan fluttered his golden-red wings and stood on the high slope with a smile. A red light flashed in his mind in anticipation of the crisis, and all the terrain data of Novice Village were scanned: terrain utilization, ambush in the woods on the east side, traps in the canyons on the west side, and bombing on the Luoli Highlands on the north slope. Han Xiao, attack in the woods on the flank and cut off the logistics. Su Wan, the deceleration vine trap seals the west road. Luo Li, the fire rain seals the north slope. Data manipulation, warm up. He pressed his hands, invisible ripples spread and buzzed, the air twisted like a heat wave, and the 100-person panel of the Divine Beast Alliance used the power, all attributes plus 200, agility skyrocketed. Han Xiao stood up with eyes wide open, and the axe handle hit the ground with a thunderous sound. Brother Fan's layout is amazing. Attack on the flanks of the forest and their archers are crispy. Su Wan's beautiful eyes lit up, and the green light of the wooden staff glowed. The trap is upgraded, the vine debuff slows down by -70%. Luo Li's fireball charged up, and the heat wave hit his face. Highland output position, sea of fire pouring down. The battle situation suddenly changed, and the Divine Beast Alliance dispersed like ghosts. Han Xiao led 30 forward iron towers and rushed into the woods on the east side. The light of the axe was like a tornado, picking up the rotten leaves. He attacked the archers' logistics from the flanks and sprayed blood mist. Strength 965 plus borrow 200, the archer's HP is 3000, and the panel is cleared. The archer screamed, the quiver landed with a clang, and the leader stared back. The tank of the Divine Beast Alliance is invisible in the forest. How can the agility be increased to 800 plus? Logistics. The supply of military supplies has evaporated. However, the enemy's main force of 300 shields was pressed against the iron wall. The giant shields crashed and roared. Han Xiao resisted and retreated. The sound of cracking bones was heard, and blood sprayed all over his face. He shouted and knelt down, "Brother Fan, shield defense is 30,000 plus, armor breaking is ineffective, the forward's health bar is red. The iron-blooded deputy general is charging at me, with a strength of 1200. A passerby screamed on the live broadcast, Han Xiao's attack is awesome, but the main force is pressing, and the flanks of the Divine Beast Alliance collapse. Su Wan chanted in the canyon on the west side, the phoenix vines exploded like giant pythons, and the sour smell of green juice wrapped around the enemy's ankles, slowing down by -70%. The mage army tripped on the landslide, and rolled down the deep ditch. The screams echoed, designer trap S level. The mobility is 0, the priest can't solve it. Su Wan waved her staff excitedly, and the buff stack rebirth was fully activated. But was jumped out by the iron-blooded battle team. The sword energy was like a dragon cutting the vines. The sword wind tore her shield and blood seeped out of her clothes. She screamed and fell back. Lin Fan, the deputy general, broke the trap, the canyon cannot be sealed, and the main force of the enemy army poured in. The guild channel panicked. Su Meizi is a trap god, but in the sea of 500 people, the debuff is invalid when the vine breaks. Fire and rain poured down on the high ground on the northern slope of Luoli, with a chain of roars and explosions. The grass burned into a sea of fire, the heat wave steamed and scorched corpses hit the nose, killing 50 people in the back row instantly. The output is plus 300 and the fire rain is 3000 plus, and the crispy skin flies away. The anti-mage counterattacked the ice storm, and the frost arrow rain froze the high ground. She was depleted of magic power and coughed up blood and slipped. Brother Fan, ice debuff intelligence -100, fire rain hits. Lose it, the backlash will be painful. Suppressed across the board, the Dark Dynasty Legion advanced 100 meters to the station. The iron-blooded war lieutenant held his giant sword high and roared, "Where is Mortal Chen? Hand over the divine wing set, brother Jiang Chen will give you a way out." Thousands of passers-by watched the barrage in despair. The layout of the Divine Beast Alliance failed, and there is no solution. The dream of killing the boss for the first time is shattered, and the guild battle is a joke. Jiang Chen dynasty sweeps the entire server. The afterimage of Lin Fan soared into the sky, the divine wings fluttered, and the golden light was dazzling. Data manipulation erupted like a tide of blue light, locking the entire legion. Predict the weakness, legion output chain bug, freeze 20%. Move to iron-blooded battle. The buzzing was deafening, the collective red alarm of the enemy's 500 panels flashed, the output was -20%, the bow and arrow fell weakly, the mage's magic ball dissipated, and the shield battle power plummeted. The iron-blooded deputy general stared and howled miserably, and let go of his giant sword. What? The attack dropped from 1200 to 960, the data was frozen. The black range skill, the whole army debuff. Han Xiao laughed and got up, using the power of 1165 with the light of the axe. He jumped into the woods and side-attacked the deputy general's back. causing bones to crack and blood to flow. Flesh flew, Brother Fan is under control. The deputy general turned into crispy skin, broke the defense with one axe, and lost half of his HP. The deputy general knelt down and twitched, his voice trembling. Impossible. 20% of the output freezes, the army collapses. Brother Jiang Chen, save. Axeluo's head exploded, the stench of his brain spattered, and his equipment exploded and clinked to the ground. Su Wanmei's eyes widened, she held her staff and screamed in admiration, Lin Fan, freeze the whole army. Use the trap vines to slow down -90%, completely seal the canyon, and strangle the enemy. The vines entangled like living creatures, the enemy stumbled and trampled on each other, screamed like pigs being killed, and the green juice corroded the leather armor. Luoli Highlands was revitalized, and Fire Rain's output was +500 through transfer. The sea of fire expanded to swallow 300 people, and the heat wave rolled into the mountain of scorched corpses. She was excited with tears in her clear eyes. Guild Master's intelligence control, I have 5,000 plus Fire Rain, and I will clear the place in one wave. Witnessed by an S-class mage. Miracle. Han Xiao counterattacked forward, his axe danced into the wind and thunder, and with the help of 1,000 plus agility, he pulled out the afterimage and killed hundreds of people in the shield battle. The rivers of blood flowed into a bloody storm. Brother Fan's layout plus manipulation, our 100-man panel exploded, and the level rose sharply. The Dark Dynasty kneels down. The Legion collapsed, and the remaining 200 people fled. Their helmets and armor were thrown away, and Jiang Chen's voice roared intermittently, is the iron-blooded maniac dead in battle? Fan Chen, you, retreat. The whole server takes revenge. The Divine Beast Alliance pursued and captured mountains of equipment, epic talismans, rare ores, and core stone fragments and put them into the warehouse. The system announcement exploded across the server, the Divine Beast Alliance defeated the Dark Dynasty army. Capture resources, upgrade the guild to Fortress LV3, defense plus 5,000, Phoenix logo buff expands the whole area plus 20% data stability. Lin Fan's level soared to 25, the panel went crazy, strength 1015, agility 1550, endurance 820, intelligence 780, data manipulation CD shortened by 50%. Han Zhao's power is 1365, Luo Li's output is 5000 plus, and Su Wan's buff is at the divine level. Thousands of passers-by knelt down to worship, and screamed like a flood, 100 people destroyed 500. Lin Fan froze 20% of the output and tore the lieutenant with his hands. The agility of the afterimage god is 1550, the strongest in the guild fortress novice village. The Divine Beast Alliance is invincible, and the Phoenix logo joins. All masters in the server the barrage flooded the screen, former 100 mage Luo Li has joined, and my wet nurse has switched to join. The European and American god of war, Rex, applied, mortal bug hunter, lead me to hunt server crises. Guild applications surged by 500,000, and international players poured into chat, China Divine Alliance defying the heavens, Phoenix Divine Wings plus control, the savior of the server crash. The Dark Dynasty is cowardly, Jiang Chen is heartbroken. Su Wan hugged Lin Fan's waist, her pretty face flushed and trembled, Lin Fan, the fortress is upgraded, the resources are full. Your agility is 1550, and the prediction is all over the server. Game, our childhood sweethearts witnessed the legend. Han Xiao tried his move with the axe, and the canyon was split 10 meters away. Stone chips flew up and dust stung his nose. He worshipped with copper bell eyes, Brother Fan, the guild wins the first battle. With 1365 power, I, the God-winged Axe King, will sweep the next battle. Luo Li's clear eyes were filled with attachment, and the floating heat wave of the fireball caressed Lin Fan, President, the wave of international masters joining has shocked European and American guilds. I will lend you my output of 5,000 plus, and the number 1 mage in the server will serve as a soldier. In the fortress, the Phoenix logo soared into the sky, and the buff covered the entire area in gold and red. Passers-by players poured in to worship, Fortress of the Divine Beast Alliance, resist collapse. Holy Land. Lin Fan disclosed the crisis prediction, 168 hours countdown, we will follow. Lin Fan looked into the distance with his divine wings and smiled lightly. The layout has been expanded, the third source of server bugs, the server-wide copy, Chaos Abyss. The prediction shows that the European and American alliance is lurking. Han Xiao, Su Wan, Luo Li, gather the elites, the international war is about to begin. Suddenly, the red light of the system alarm in the entire server was dazzling, and it buzzed like a doomsday bell, warning. The entire server's copy has expanded abnormally, the Chaos Abyss level has soared by 40+, boss data has overflowed, and the countdown to collapse has been shortened to 120 hours. The top European and American guilds, Freedom Alliance and Dark Dynasty have joined forces, and a 1,000-man army has gathered to recover. Avenge, target the Fortress of the Divine Beast Alliance. Jiang Chen's voice echoed with wild laughter, Mortal World, European and American Rex plus I have thousands of elites, level 40 divine equipment. Your black armor can't save the whole server, all resources are taken away, I dominate the new era. Black clouds are billowing on the distant horizon, the iron hooves of the 1,000-man army are shaking the sky, the cold light of bows and arrows is shining, and the murderous intent is bloody. Han Xiao held the axe and was filled with fighting spirit, Brother Fan, an international war. Hold the fortress and sweep across the alliance. Lin Fan's eyes were like daggers, and his divine wings were shining brightly, come on, just in time to expand the power of the Phoenix. All servers, witness the hegemony of the Divine Beast Alliance. The lights in the fortress are bright, the Phoenix logo is rising into the sky with golden red flames, the heat wave is steaming with the aroma of burnt wood, the guild channel is flooding the screen, the application message for 500,000 is jingling, and the voice bombardment of international players, boss of Mortal World, Rex, European and American God of War, please join. Level 40 Divine Sword Power 1500, lead the team to resist collapse. However, in the distance, black clouds are overwhelming the horizon, the iron hooves of a 1,000-man legion are shaking the ground, and the cold light of bows and arrows is like the sea of stars twinkled, and murderous intent came to the nostrils. The Free Alliance and the Dark Dynasty joined forces, the level 40 divine equipment shone dazzlingly, the front row defense in the shield battle was 5,000+ and the iron wall advanced. Jiang Chen's sinister voice echoed throughout the server, the clown of the Divine Beast Alliance, the LV3 defense of the fortress is 5,000. Our output chain of thousands of people is perfect, Rex Thunder God / cuts through 10,000 armors, and all the crystals, resources, and divine wings are snatched. 120 hours after the collapse, you will die first. The internal channel of the guild instantly went into chaos. The HP panels of newly joined passerby players trembled and their voices trembled across the screen. President, 1,000 people are at level 40. We have 300 people with an average level of 20. Our output is impenetrable. The European and American divine equipment set plus Rex S-class thunderstorm, the fortress cannot be defended, retreat. Outside the novice village. Han Xiao smashed the table with his iron fist, the axe handle clanged, and the copper bell's eyes were covered with blood, and he shouted, "Get out of here." Brother Fan won 500 for the first time. We have 300 elites plus Phoenix buff, sweeping thousands of people. But, leveling. The level difference is 15 suppression, and the board is defeated. Su Wan's pretty face turned pale. Fingers trembling while holding the wooden stick, the green light buff can barely be maintained, and the voice is trembling. Lin Fan, the crystal fragments are piled up in the warehouse, the logistic supply is only enough for 3 days, thousands of people are besieged and no food is available, the fortress famine debuffs the whole team minus 30% stamina. Qingmei, can we hold on? Luo Li Qing's eyes were panicked, and the fireball floating in her palm hit her face with heat but was dim. She bit her lips and whispered, "President, the prediction of the Chaos Abyss is abnormal. Bugs in my magic chain occur frequently. The output is 5,000 plus and it jams. The backlash is painful. Although international masters have come, there is no tacit understanding, and the civil strife will collapse first. Thousands of passers-by outside the fortress live broadcast barrage explosions and taunted, the Divine Beast Alliance is lucky to win for the first time. Thousands of level 40 alliances, Rex Power 1800 Thunder God descends, Jiang Chen's Dark Army takes revenge, the fortress becomes a cemetery. Lin Fan's Black Hanger failed, level 25 vs 40, agility 1550 cannot hold the afterimage, the guild's dream is shattered. 300 new Eurasian masters joined, the voice of Rex's blonde god of war roared, mortal world, Rex, have joined the 100 former gods of war, but your levels are too high. Clear the wild. The level 40 elite monsters in the middle level map of the desolate forest, death will lose one level as a penalty, who dares to follow? The guild channel refreshed the screen in despair, guild president, the crisis is approaching, hold on first. Leveling up will cost people, no matter how great the phoenix symbol is, it can't save the collapse. Lin Fan's divine wings fluttered in golden red, and he stood in the fortress tower with a faint smile. The red light of prediction flashed wildly in his mind, and data flowed like a river. The desolate forest hides the leveling holy land, the elite monster explosion rate is 200%, clues to the source of bugs, and crystal upgrade materials. He pressed his hands falsely, an invisible ripple spread, and the panels of all 300 people in the guild jingled, all attributes plus 300, experience gain plus 150%. The voice was as calm as the abyss, despair. The alliance of thousands is just a data bubble. Organize a leveling frenzy, Han Xiao, form a 50 commando team to slay the elite wolves in the deserted forest, I will lead it myself. Su Wan, optimize the logistics vine transportation line, double the supply. Luo Li, unlock the forest magic bug, and get the hidden staff. Join me for competitive selection in the internal competition. After 120 hours of crisis across the entire server, we will reach level 35, double our total combat power, and sweep the league. Han Xiao stared at the round copper bell eyes, the axe handle hit the ground, dust flew up, and the dust choked his nose, he laughed loudly, Brother Fan has foreknowledge. Strength 1365 plus borrow 300 is equal to 1665, I will lead the commando, Wolf Pack Elite HP 20,000 defense, 3,000, clear the field with one axe. Su Wanmei's eyes widened, her pretty face flushed, she held her staff and screamed in admiration, Lin Fan's layout. Qingmei's logistics upgrade, vine transportation speed plus 200%, worry-free supplies. Our bond proves the whole server. Luo Li's fireball rekindled the heat, and his clear eyes flashed with tears. President's intellectual control, I locked the bug, doubled the output of the hidden staff. I am willing to be a soldier and witness the divine alliance. Rex's voice was shocked, the blonde shadow projection fortress, mortal world, all attributes plus 300. Hackers precognition holy land, European and American god of war server. Competitive competition, I thunder god / vs your divine wings, if you lose, obey the order. The 300 elite members of the guild instantly boiled with fighting spirit, the fortress phoenix buff was shrouded in golden red, the heat wave was steaming with the lingering sound of phoenixes, and the portal buzzed open, leading directly to the desolate forest of the intermediate map. The entrance to the forest is eerie and terrifying, with dead trees twisting like ghost claws, layers of rotten leaves assailing the nostrils, the wind howling like wolves, the red eyes of the elite grey wolves flashing, HP 20,000, attack 2500 plus, level 35 suppressing novices, claw wind tearing the air with a whooshing sound. A wave of 50 wolves rushed towards them, their claw shadows were like black mist. Passers-by spies screamed live, the Divine Beast Alliance will die. The forest elite group attacked 3,000 plus. 300 people entered the map and the group was destroyed. The alliance of thousands of people laughed to death. Han Zhao's commando team's forward iron tower rushed into the formation, axes flashed, wind and thunder roared, however, the first round of claw attacks concentrated fire, and the strength of 1665 axe blocked the flying sparks. He knelt down with a red line of blood and shouted, "Brother Fan, the wolf pack's AoE poison claw debuff, 40% endurance, the tank can't handle it." The commando's HP evaporates by 60%, and the crispy mage lays down in seconds. The vine transportation line behind Su Wan erupted with green light. The supply of medicine poured down like rain, and the fragrance of sweet and sour medicine filled the air. However, the wolves were flanking them. The poisonous mist and green juice corroded the vines. She screamed and slipped, "Lin Fan, the forest terrain is jungle fog, vision -80%, transportation is broken, and supplies are 0. Luoli fire rain condensed, the heat wave burned the rotten leaves, and the scorched smell filled her nose. She killed 10 wolves, but the magic power backfired, and the ice claws froze her ankles with cold stings. "Bones," she coughed up blood and retreated. "President, the magic bug is locked, the output is 5,000 plus only 2,500, the rebound will burn you." Rex Thunder God / charged up, thunder arc electric snakes danced around, the smell of ozone pungent. He killed 5 wolves but was attacked by a group of people, the blood bar dropped wildly. He roared, "Mortal world, this holy land. I am kneeling in the top 100 in Europe and America, the Wolf King hides the boss summon, HP 100,000, defense 5,000, the whole team is destroyed." The guild channel panicked, leveling is overturned. Elite suppression, level 35 wolf pack has no solution, and the alliance of thousands of people has arrived outside the fortress. Jiang Chen mockingly inserted the voice, "Haha, mortals dug their own graves. The forest gave in, and we, 1,000 people, crushed the novice village." Lin Fan's divine wings fluttered, the golden light was dazzling, and the afterimage of the high-altitude dive was stretching. The blue light surge of data manipulation buzzed and deafened, predicting the weakness of the wolves. Bug manipulation, the poisonous claw chain freezes 30%, transferred to the Wolf King. The team's agility plus 500, pull the afterimage side attack. The buzz was loud, and the 300 panels collectively exploded, experience plus 300%, critical hit plus 100%. The shadows of the claws of the wolves fell to the ground weakly, and the poison debuff evaporated. The Wolf King's red eyes widened and howled miserably, "Ouch," the attack dropped from 2500 to 1800, data lock. Human hacker. Han Xiao jumped up with laughter, and the light of his axe flashed. Agility 2000 plus afterimages are like ghosts, and he kills 20 wolves in a row, spraying blood and stench everywhere. Brother Fan's magical skill. The wolf's HP will be cleared to 0 in case of a 20% axe, and the commando's critical hit will kill 200% instantly. The strength is 1665, and it can break defenses and is invincible. Su Wan's beautiful eyes lit up, the vines danced wildly with the help of the green dragon, and the potion doubled the transport line speed. She waved her staff excitedly, "Lin Fan, supply plus 300%, the whole team's HP is back to full." The bond of green plum, the logistics domain. Luo Li's fireball levitated and rekindled, the hidden magic bug was unlocked, and the epic staff, Wrath of the Flame Phoenix, appeared in the palm of her hand. Guild Master's prediction is unlocked. The staff's intelligence is plus 1000, and its output is directly up to 10,000 plus. A wave of fire rain will wipe out hundreds of wolves, and piles of scorched corpses. Rex's lightning arc increased sharply due to the transfer, and the bones in the back of the Thunder God slashed the Wolf King. His blonde hair flew up and shouted in shock, "Mortal world." The Wolf King's HP is deducted for 100,000 and a half. The European and American war gods witness the Chinese crime, and they are convinced. The experience of the whole team is soaring, and the level is plus 5. The forest suddenly transformed into a slaughterhouse, with 300 elites like tigers entering the flock. Axes, fire, rain, and thunder arcs intertwined and roared to the sky. Wolf corpses lay across the rivers of blood, rotting leaves were stained red and sticky and trampled on. Elite explosive equipment clanked to the ground, mountains of rare ores, core stone fragments shining, and epic talismans with a critical hit plus 50%. Han Xiao slashed the Wolf King's head with an axe and his brains exploded on the ground. He held the axe and laughed loudly. Brother Fan, the commando team has cleared thousands of wolves, and the equipment is full. My strength has increased to 1800, level 30. Su Wan hugged Lin Fan's waist, her pretty face flushed and she trembled. Lin Fan, the crystal is broken plus 200 pieces, all materials for fort upgrade. We are on a leveling spree, Qingmei will always be with you. Luo Li's fire staff caressed Lin Fan's arm with warmth. President, the staff will lend you your intelligence, and the output will transfer 10,000 plus to the whole team. The number 1 mage in the guild is just for you. There was a day and night of leveling frenzy. The guild recruited more than 350 European and Asian masters. Rex brought the top 10 European and American war gods to join. The Phoenix Logo Guild ranked among the top 10 in the entire server. Its reputation exploded and barrages worshipped, slaying wolves in the forest of the Divine Beast Alliance. 3 million annihilated elites. The average level is 30, and the total combat power is doubled. Lin Fan's agility is 2000 plus gods afterimage, saving the collapsed Holy Alliance. A red light flashed in Lin Fan's hacker's mind. The next crisis, the data flood of the Chaos Abyss boss is overflowing, and the ghosts in the European and American Alliance are lurking. His panel is upgraded to 35, with strength 1500, agility 2500, endurance 1200, intelligence 1300, data manipulation range expanded across the map, and CD shortened by 70%. The total combat power of the team is doubled. Han Zhao's power is 2000 and the Axe King is unparalleled. Luo Li's output is 15,000 plus Fire God's Punishment, and Su Wan's buff Eternal Domain Rebirth plus 100%. The fortress is back, the guild's internal competition begins, the tower arena stones are clanging, and thousands of spectators are excited. Lin Fan smiled lightly. Selection of elites, dialogue game, Han Xiao vs Rex, proof of power. Han Zhao's axe handle hit the ground with thunder, and the fighting spirit boiled. European and American gods of war, come. Power 2000 vs 1500, afterimage axe dance teaches you how to be a human being. Rex's thunder sword charged up arcs and arced around, pungent to the ozone. The blonde man laughed wildly. Little mortal brother, let's see Thor break your tank. The sword and axe collided with sparks flying and roaring. Han Zhao's agility was 2500 plus and he used the force to pull out 10 afterimages. The axe light wind swept Rex's health bar. He stared back and stepped back, strength 2000 to suppress. How about 2500 agility? The buff of the League of Gods is incredible. With an axe, Rex knelt down to the red line of HP, and his voice trembled. I lose. The European and American war gods are willing to be defeated and obey the orders of the mortal world. Su Wan and Luo Li duel, Vine Green Dragon vs Fire Rain Phoenix Flames, Heat Wave, Green Juice and Sour Smell intertwined. Su Wan trap slows down, 100% locks Luo Li. Luo Li's fire staff explodes and uses transfer to break the net. They look at each other, smile and embrace. Sister bond, divine domain plus sea of fire, invincible. Lin Fan's divine wings looked down, talking to Rex, god of war, ghost premonition in the 1,000-people alliance, you know, Jiang Chen bribed your deputy. Rex's golden eyes widened, and he was dripping with cold sweat, mortal god eye. The deputy was lured by the Dark Dynasty's money, and the night attack crystal stone plan was exposed. I, Rex, swear to be loyal to the Divine Beast Alliance. The guild elite locked in 50, and the tacit understanding increased sharply. Lin Fan smiled lightly. The bond is established, and the combat power is doubled. The fortress is strong, and thousands of people are coming, just in time for expansion. As night falls, the lights of the fortress sway, the phoenix symbol shines red in the night sky, the crystal warehouse sparkles and piles of debris, and the ore clangs into the account. Suddenly, a dark wind blows, and the invisible assassin sneaks in like a ghost. The cold light of the dagger swishes through the air, locking on the core stone. The red light of the alarm blared and buzzed, invasion. The HP of the crystal dropped wildly, and the defense was 5,000 broken. Han Xiao rushed to the warehouse, but the air was distorted and debuffed blindly. He shouted, "Brother Fan, night attack." Jiang Chen's invisible army, the assassin's agility is 3,000 plus, and the crystal fragments evaporate 50%. Su Wan screamed and the vines exploded to the ground, but the green juice was entangled but was purified. She hugged Lin Fan and trembled, "Lin Fan, the inner ghost has opened the way, the warehouse has fallen." Qingmei crisis. Luo Li's fire rain swept away the heat wave, and the smell of burnt corpses was overwhelming, but the assassin's shadow fled. "President, the magic barrier bug, we can't catch up." Lin Fan held up the divine wing and smiled lightly, scanning the crowd. "The crisis has been resolved, and the plan continues." Su Wan's pretty face turned red, and she leaned closer. "Lin Fan, you publicly predicted that thousands of people will watch and worship, and the guild will take off." Han Xiao tried to move with the axe, and the wind and thunder roared. "The power of the divine wing is 965, splitting the mountain with one axe." "Brother Fan, what's the next source?" Luo Li's clear eyes flashed. "President, please control me to upgrade the fire rain, and all the masters in the server will join." The lights inside the fortress were flickering like will-o'-the-wisps, and the night wind mixed with the stench of blood and burned corpses poured in from the cracks in the warehouse, which was so pungent that it made your stomach churn. The red light of the alarm was pulsing and buzzing continuously, the cold light flickered in the pile of crystal fragments, but half of them were gone. The vine stumps corroded by green juice were sizzling and smoking, and the air was filled with the bitter smell of purifying medicine. The guild channel flooded the screen like a frenzy and collapsed, and the newly joined Eurasian player's voice trembled. "President, the assassin's agility is 3,000 plus and can pass through the wall invisibly, the HP of the crystal dropped to 30%, and the fortress defense is 5,000. The inner ghost has opened a way, and the average level of our 350 people is 28. How can we block the night attack of 2,000 troops?" Han Zhao's iron tower body smashed open the iron door of the warehouse, and plasma dripped from the axe blade. With a click, the bloodshot eyes of his copper bell burst out, and the axe handle hit the ground with stone chips flying and dust choking his nose. He roared and echoed, "Rex, block the exit. I have 2,000 axes with strength, and one person can kill 100 assassins." But Jiang Chen's voice said that 2,000 people are pressing down on the border, black clouds are billowing with murderous intent, the Free Alliance shield battle defense 6,000 iron wall, the Dark Dynasty archer output chain fires 10,000 arrows, our logistics is cut off, destroy the team, Brother Fan. Su Wan's pretty face was as pale as paper, her fingers were cold and trembling while holding Lin Fan's waist, her green eyes were glistening with tears, the vine stumps were still wrapped around her ankles and twitching, her voice was choked and she breathed hotly close to Lin Fan's ear. "Lin Fan. Qingmei crisis, 50% loss of spar, Fortress LV3 famine debuff is about to minus 40% stamina for the whole team, night the attacking assassin has escaped, 1,000 people have become 2,000, the level 40 divine equipment shines on the horizon, the cold light of bows and arrows is like the stars, we only have 1 day of supplies left, we can't hold on." Luo Li's clear eyes were panicked, the red glow of the fire wand wrath of the flame phoenix dimmed, the heat wave in the palm of her hand barely maintained it, but backfired and burned. Her snowy arm was red and swollen, she bit her lip and retreated, coughing blood, and the blood streak stretched and dripped. Falling stone, Guild Master, the magic barrier bug is locked. Only 10 assassins can be cleared by the fire rain sweep. The afterimage flees with an agility of 3,500 plus. It is impossible to catch up. The 50 members of the guild have a better tacit understanding. Facing 2,000 suppression, the level difference is 12, and the output cannot penetrate. Rex's blonde hair is messy, and cold sweat rolls down his forehead. The smell of ozone comes from the thunder sword. Distribution, his blue eyes widened and his sword hand trembled. "Boss Fanchen, the ghost and the deputy has been captured, but Jiang Chen's main force is here. I bring one of the top 10 war gods in Europe and the United States, with an average power of 1,600 thunder god sets, but in shield battle, the front row advances like a sea of tanks, the back row mage's freezing chain debuff is completely frozen, and our fortress gate HP drops by 20%. Black clouds are overwhelming outside the fortress, the ground is shaking with the roar of iron hooves, 2,000 military torches are winding like a long dragon, bloody murderous aura is coming, 6,000 plus sparks are flying in the defense of the iron wall in shield battle, archers' arrows are swishing through the air, the cold wind is biting. Jiang Chen is overcast, the laughing voice echoed throughout the server like a ghostly whisper, mortal clown, the phoenix symbol of the divine beast alliance is awesome again, the LV3 defense of the crystal half-broken fortress is leaking. We have 2,000 elite level 40, the output chain is perfect, Rex's traitor deputy has revealed your weakness. Point, the data manipulation CD lasts for 10 minutes. The night attack is successful, the fortress will be broken tomorrow, the server will crash and accelerate, you will die first and the whole server will laugh. The passers-by live broadcast barrage exploded, the Divine Beast Alliance is over. Lin Fan's luck in the forest killed the wolf, and the night attack overturned, 2,000 the Divine Armor Alliance, the agility of 2,000 plus afterimage archers becomes crispy in seconds, and the guild's dreams are shattered in the cemetery. The red line on the HP panel of the 350 people in the guild flashed, and the screen flashed with despair, guild leader, retreat from the novice village. The fortress has fallen, and the phoenix buff cannot save it. Lin Fan's divine wings fluttered in golden red, and he looked down from the high tower on the black military formation. He smiled and said nothing, predicting in his mind that the red light flashed like a river of blood pouring down, Jiang Chen's main weakness, the data torrent overflowed and was hidden, and the overload bug in the back row of archers could control the backlash. His eyes were like knives as he scanned the crowd, and his voice was calm and abyss, despair. 2,000 is not worth the data bubble. Predictive layout of multi-layer defense lines, Su Wan, activate the Phoenix sign upgrade buff, the team's attributes plus 30%, data stability plus 50%. Han Xiao, lead 50 elite forwards to charge with iron blood, kill the archer flanks. Luo Li, a large-scale magic storm clears the back row mage. Rex, block the side door and kill the remaining gangsters. The whole map data control is activated, the CD is reduced by 70%, and the torrent attacks Jiang Chen's main force. The guild channel uses the power, all attributes plus 400, critical hit plus 150%, experience plus 400%. There was a loud buzzing, invisible ripples of gold and red spread, the phoenix symbol of the fortress steamed into the sky with a lingering sound of charred wood and phoenixes, and the 350 panels jingled. Han Xiao stared at the round copper bell eyes, and the axe handle hit the ground with thunder and cracked rocks. He laughed and jumped up. Strength 2000 plus 30% equals 2600 axe light wind and thunder, Brother Fan has foreknowledge. I will lead the vanguard, agility 2500 plus afterimage pull 30, archer defense 300 clear the field with an axe. Su Wan's beautiful eyes widened, her pretty face flushed, she held her staff and screamed in admiration, green light erupted, vines and green dragons danced wildly, Lin Fan's layout. Qingmei logo buff upgrade, the team's plus 30% attributes, eternal field expansion, trap slowdown, 150% lock on enemy troops. Logistic supplies tripled, no worries. Luo Li's fire wand rekindled the red light and the heat wave burned her skin. Her clear eyes flashed with tears and she caressed Lin Fan's arms, Guild Master's intelligence control, magic storm unlocked, output 15,000 plus the transfer is doubled, and the sea of fire clears the back row. Rex's thunder sword charged up the electric arc and stung the ozone, and the blonde hair flew up and shouted in shock, the whole map is covered in black. Attributes plus 400, strength 2200, the European and American god of war fights back to kill the inner ghost and he will obey the order to the death. The gate of the fortress suddenly opened, and Han Zhao's commando team charged into the formation with 50 iron towers. The shadows of their axes stretched like ghosts. The archers' flanks were swishing with arrows, but their feet were bound by the sticky green juice of the deceleration trap. Han Xiao swept away the axe, blood mist sprayed and the stench spread everywhere, and 20 archer skulls exploded and their brains splashed to the ground. He carried the axe and laughed wildly. The archer's agility is 2,000, and the HP is 10,000. An axe can kill 100 people in an instant. Brother Fan's buff is invincible, and the strength is 2,600, which can break through 10,000 armors. Suwen's vine transportation line is surrounded by green dragons, and the sweet and sour fragrance of the potion pours down like rain to replenish the whole team's HP. The trap on the wall of the fortress erupted, locking the ankles of thousands of enemy soldiers and corroding them. She waved her staff excitedly. Lin Fan, the logo buff is plus 30% in the whole area, the shield defense dropped from 6,000 to 4,200, the crispy mage will die when he concentrates the fire. Luo Li raised the fire staff in the sky, and the magical wind, the stormy red cloud condensed the heat wave, scorched the air, and the smell filled the nostrils. Fire rain and phoenix flames poured down and roared. The mage in the back row shattered the ice chain and screamed and evaporated. She opened her eyes wide and screamed. The president diverted the torrent, output 20,000 plus and cleared 500 mages in one wave, and the mountains of scorched corpses and rivers of blood flowed together. The first wave of Jiang Chen's 2,000-strong army advanced with sparks flying. The shield battle defense of 200 plus was still like a sea of tanks crashing into a wall. The cold light of the sea of bows and arrows was dazzling, but it was swept back by the critical strike plus 150% axe light and thunder arc, and the red lines of the health bars were all on the ground. The guild channel was filled with fighting spirit, unparalleled Qingmei. 350 annihilated 1,000, experience surge level plus 3. A passerby's live broadcast barrage reversed and exploded. Lin Fan's black armor is fully activated. Light yellow plus 30% attributes are against the sky. Han Zhao's Axe King kills 100, Luo Lihuhai divine punishment, Jiang Chen's alliance collapses. Jiang Chen's face turned pale, and his voice roared, impossible. Stable data plus 50%. Archer output chain is broken, shield battle HP evaporates by 40%, mortal bug control, main force is on. The climax of the fierce battle broke out, Lin Fan's divine wings fluttered and golden light dazzled, and the afterimages were swooped down. The high-altitude blue light data surged and buzzed ear-splittingly. The prediction locked Jiang Chen's main back row overload bug, the torrent backlash, the Archmage's data torrent overflowed, moved to the front row of the shield battle. Critical hit across the map plus 200%, attack speed plus 1,500. The buzzing sound was like thunder, and the magic power of the enemy's back row mages backfired and the green mist exploded and corroded. The torrent poured into the shield and iron wall like a river. The defense instantly exploded to 4,200, and their HP dropped to the red line. They stared and screamed, attack speed lock death. Torrent backfires, 20,000 HP deducted, data hacker. Han Xiao laughed and danced with the axe, slashing for 30 consecutive times, fighting the bloody mist with 100 shields, Brother Fan's magical skill. Attack speed 2600 plus 50 axes per second, the main force is annihilated. Luo Li's firestorm uses the red and black torrents to interweave the heat and blood. Xian Mage's charred corpses flew everywhere, the output tripled, the sea of fire swallowed all the troops. Su Wan's buff field was shrouded in gold and red, rebirth plus 150%, teammates' corpses were resurrected. Ding dang, she hugged Lin Fan, her waist was red and trembling. Lin Fan, Qingmei witnessed, 1,500 enemy troops were wiped out. Rex God of Thunder slashed Jiang Chen's trusted lieutenant, bones cracked and blood splattered. His golden eyes were shocked and he knelt down to escort him. Boss of Mortal World, the captives have obtained intelligence. Jiang Chen is hiding the Chaos Abyss crystal core and intends to detonate it to accelerate the collapse. The Dark Dynasty is internally divided, and the money bribe has failed. Jiang Chen retreated in embarrassment with the remaining 500 people. The black clouds dispersed and the iron hooves were messy. His voice was absolutely stunning. Looking at the echo, mortal world, the torrent of black things backfires, our 2000 will become 500, revenge tomorrow. The server crashes, you will die too. The whole server barrage worshipped and exploded, the Divine Beast Alliance is against the sky. Lin Fan's attack speed plus 2000 gods afterimage, complete gods equipment and agility 3500 plus, 300 destroyed 2000, the guild's reputation explodes into the top 5. Collapse savior Lin Fan. After the war, the lights of the fortress were rekindled, the golden and red flames of the phoenix symbol soared higher into the sky, and the heat wave steamed, and the captive resources were recorded, mountains of divine armor fragments, doubled rare ores, all core stone fragments recovered plus 200%, and epic talisman critical hits plus 80%. Lin Fan has a complete panel of ding-dang divine equipment. The Phoenix Divine Wings suit has all attributes exploded, including strength 1800, agility 3500, stamina 1500, intelligence 1600, attack speed plus 2000, data manipulation range, full server warm-up, and CD reduction by 80%. Guild recruitment frenzy, European, American, Asian and African masters poured in, the combat power increased by 50 people, the average level was 32, Han Zhao's power was 2800 Axe Emperor, Luo Li's output was 25,000 plus Feng Yan Absolute Domain, Su Wan's buff rebirth plus 200% Eternal Divine Domain. During the celebration banquet, the stone slabs of the high tower clanked, and the roasted wolf meat was fragrant. The smell of wine was hot. Han Xiao raised his axe and laughed with dripping gravy, Brother Fan, counterattack 2000 in a night attack, and kill hundreds of enemies with blood on the axe blade. My strength is 2800, unparalleled. I am Han Xiao, the axe king in the server. Su Wan snuggled next to Lin Fan, her pretty face blushed and she drank wine with a sweet breath. Lin Fan, green plum buff saves the whole team, let's be reborn. My brother is back from the dead, and the Divine Alliance is immortal because of you. Luo Li's fire staff caressed Lin Fan's arm with red light, and a wave of heat hit his face. President, the Fire Sea clears the enemy's intelligence to unlock the clues of the abyss, just for you to output the world. Rex's blonde hair toasted with blue eyes and worship, mortal world, the European and American god of war joins all servers, attack speed plus 2000 to witness the miracle of black hanging, and swear to be loyal until the end of collapse. The guild channel cheered. The Divine Beast Alliance has 5,000 elites, and the total combat power ranks first in the server. Lin Fan's divine armor panel is crushed, his agility is 3,500, and he pulls thousands of afterimages. Jiang Chen's remnant soldiers are a joke. Passers-by across the server were shocked and jealous. The epic set of divine wings is complete. Attack speed is 2000 per second. Thousands of hits, who can win? Lin Fan's hacker customized logo, the guild buff is incredible, I'm so envious. Lin Fan smiled and raised his glass, the golden red of the divine wings reflected the wine, the bond is established, the combat power is unlimited. The intelligence shows the source of the chaos abyss, tomorrow we will march to seize the spar core, save the collapse and open a new era. The night banquet was in full swing, and the fortress suddenly trembled violently. The ground buzzed like thousands of thunders, stone chips flew up, and dust choked the nose. The server alarm flashed with red light all over the server, the data torrent has begun to appear. The Chaos Abyss boss has overflowed, and the countdown to collapse has begun. Reduced to 110 hours, green light gushed out from earthquake fissures all over the map. The wine glasses of everyone in the guild fell to the ground and shattered loudly. Han Xiao hit the table with his axe handle and jumped up, Brother Fan, the torrent of green mist corroded the fortress wall and lost 10% of HP, the Abyss Fissure elites the monster surged out with 50,000 HP and a defense of 4,000. Su Wan hugged Lin Fan and screamed tremblingly, Lin Fan, Qingmei is afraid, the torrent is approaching the source, the crystal core is pulsating, are we ready? Luo Li's fire wand suspended in the heat wave was unstable, and her eyes were panicked. President, the magic bug has recurred, and the output is locked by 50%. The green and black torrent on the distant horizon rolled like a tsunami, the smelly rotten smell hit the face, the boss's red eyes flashed with murderous intent, and the crisis suddenly escalated and the whole server panicked. The smell of wine and burnt meat has not yet dissipated in the high tower of the fortress. The red light reflected from the broken porcelain of the wine glass is dazzling. The cracks in the ground are green and sizzling like poisonous snakes. The corrosive smell mixed with the stench of sulfur assaults the nostrils, making one's throat dry and nauseated. Han Zhao's iron tower suddenly froze, and the axe handle hit the stone slabs with a clanging echo. His copper bell eyes were round and bloodshot, and his voice was thunderous but trembling, "Brother Fan." The green mist crawled out from the cracks. The elite monster has 50,000 HP and a defense of 4,000. The poison debuff deducts 500 lives per second. The fortress wall loses 15% of its HP. We 5,000 elites have just celebrated their victory, and the food and wine supplies are still hot. How can we block the tide from the abyss? Su Wan's pretty face suddenly turned as white as frost and snow. Her slender hands tightly grasped Lin Fan's sleeves, her knuckles turned white and icy cold. Her green eyes shone with tears as she pressed against his chest and choked with hot breath, "Lin Fan." Qingmei was panicking, and the torrent of green juice corroded the vine fragments. The eternal domain buff is weakened by 20%, the rebirth CD is extended to 30 seconds, the team stamina is reduced by 50% and famine is superimposed, the rift has spit out 50 elites, the agility is 2500 plus, and the afterimage flickers. Our logistics chain is broken. Luo Li's fire staff is suspended unstably, the red light is as dim as a candle, and the palm of the hand is burning and swelling, spreading heat. The waves burned her skin, and she retreated in panic, coughing out green blood threads that stretched and dripped, and her voice trembled like a broken leaf in the wind. "President, the magic bug reoccurred and locked 50% of the output." The heat wave of Funyuan's extreme domain was swallowed up by the green mist, and the intelligence dropped to 1200. The rain of fire swept away only 5 monsters. The remnant poison chain poisoned the whole team, and the HP red line flashed. Rex's blonde hair was blown by the green wind, and cold sweat flowed down his forehead mixed with the smell of ozone thunder arc. His blue eyes widened and the veins in his sword hand trembled. "Boss of mortal world, even the European and American god of war's 2200 thunder god set can't withstand it, and the elite monster defense has 4,000 poisonous stings, which deducts 20 per hit. 0-0, the fortress LV3 defense 5,000 wind leakage intensified, the cracks expanded and the buzzing was deafening, the abyss boss's red eyes flashed with murderous intent on the horizon. The guild channel was filled with despair, the League of Gods is over, the group will be wiped out at the first wave of the torrent, the average level 32 can't hold it, and the newbies will be withdrawn. Village. The red light of the server-wide alarm pulsed like a racing heart, and the barrage exploded like a doomsday wail. Lin Fan's miracle night attack to kill 2,000. The torrent of green fog rotting corpses, the HP of the fortress dropped by 30%, the dream of being a top 5 reputation in the Divine Beast League was shattered. Jiang Chen's revenge joke, collapse 10 hours of burial with all servers. The green-black fissures outside the fortress opened like a giant beast's bloody mouth, and elite monsters poured out like a tide. Their carapace rubbed against each other and made noises. The air filled with poisonous mist was sticky and choked the lungs. The huge body with 50,000 HP hit the wall and roared, sparks flying everywhere, and the screams pierced the clouds and cracked the ears. Lin Fan's divine wings were golden and red, fluttering slightly. The tower looked down at the churning green sea, and he predicted in his mind that the red light flashed wildly and the river of blood poured out. He smiled quietly and scanned the crowd with eyes as deep as the abyss. His voice was calm but suppressed like the eve of the storm. Get the information first. Rex, escort the prisoners to the tower. Rex dragged Jiang Chen's trusted lieutenant, and the iron chain dragged the floor with clang and blood stains. Ban, the deputy general's face was sallow and green, and he was coughing blood and smelling stinky. He knelt down and confessed in a trembling voice, "Mortal, Jiang Chen's hidden crystal core is in the center of the data abyss, behind the crack at the entrance to the intermediate copy." The data from the source of the bug overflowed, and he was among the top 20 guilds in the alliance. His ambition exploded and accelerated the collapse, and he gained resource hegemony across the server. Han Xiao, the axe blade touched the lieutenant's throat and blood oozed out. He roared and spit fire from the copper bell eyes, "Tell me. Abyss coordinates and guard values." The lieutenant trembled like chaff. LV-40 guard 100 HP 100,000 defense 5,000, poison domain debuff 80% all attributes, entrance green mist barrier intelligence 2000 plus mage lock it down, Jiang Chen's main force is 500. Su Wan's pretty face paled even more when she heard that, and her fingers were cold and twitching as she hugged Lin Fan's waist. "Lin Fan, Qingmei is afraid, the intermediate dungeon is restricted to all servers, the threshold is level 45, and the torrent of green juice melting divine equipment, how can 50 of us in the elite team break through? The guild has already fallen into an abyss and desperate situation before thousands of people have even dreamed of it." The guild channel was scrolling in despair. "Guild President, the Rift Elite has broken through. 300 brothers were poisoned and fell to the ground with HP reduced to 1%. The rebirth buff cannot keep up. The fortress has fallen and the phoenix symbol is dim." Luo Li's clear eyes were filled with tears, and she bit her lips to caress them. The arms of the fire staff were red and swollen. "President, the bug has recurred and my output is locked. The Abyss Mage chain intelligence is suppressed, and the Phoenix Flame is absolutely powerless. Our 5,000 elite night attack has not dissipated, but the torrent is like a catastrophe." Lin Fan knew in his mind that the deep lock was locked. The weakness of the Abyss, the green mist overload node can control the backlash. He laid out the plan in a low voice. "Suppression is the turning point. Han Xiao, Su Wan, Luo Li, Rex, 50 elites will follow me into the source of the abyss. The guild will stay behind for 5,000 rounds to prevent the rift. Phoenix, the buff data is stable at plus 50% to delay the surge. The whole server is preheating for the competitive match, taking advantage of the opportunity to expand the number of people." The buzzing started, the golden and red ripples of the divine wings spread, and the jingling attributes of everyone's panels increased slightly by plus 10%, but the green fog overcame the heat and turned cold. The team gathered in the warehouse, the iron door creaked open and closed, and the green mist poured into the nose. The 50 elites were pale and trembling with their weapons in their hands. The passers-by Eurasian players stared and whispered, "Is the president crazy?" Data Abyss all-server graveyard, LV-40 guarding the poison domain, crispy skin in seconds, level 38 lead the team to death. Han Xiao carried the axe to the iron tower, but sweat ran down his spine. "Brother Fan, even with 2,500 agility and 30 afterimage pulls, I can't catch up with the green mist teleport, and with 2,800 strength, the axe emperor can't break through 5,000 defense." Su Wan's vine green dragon coiled around to transport him. Line, but the green juice corroded and smoked. She leaned against Lin Fan and trembled. "Green plum buff rebirth plus 200% delay, trap minus 150% can't lock the poison domain flow." The red light of Luo Li's fire wand struggled, the heat wave barely pushed the green mist, but it backfired and coughed up green blood. "The output is 25,000 and the lock is 50%. The Abyss Mage's intelligence is beyond my control." The arc of Rex's thunder sword flashed with ozone, and his blue eyes panicked. "Mortal world, even the European and American gods of war can't hold back the 100-headed guard, and the 100,000 HP poisonous sting chain depleted the whole team." The green light in the fissure at the entrance to the abyss was spitting like an animal's throat, and the team jumped into it with a buzzing sound that shook their souls. The sticky green mist enveloped their vision and blurred their vision. The rotten smell was like a pile of corpses, steaming and piercing the lungs, and the pieces of data under their feet cracked and shattered like dead bones. On the way, a wave of wild monsters suddenly appeared. The sea of black and green beetles had 30,000 HP, defense 3500, poison needle agility 2800 plus, and group charges. They screamed and cracked the air and hit their faces with blood. The first wave of 50 elites fell into the formation and lost their HP wildly. The red line flashed and screamed, "President, the output chain of thousands of insects is perfect. Poison debuff, 60%, all attributes are locked, and the agility drops to 500 and cannot hold back the afterimage." Han Zhao's axe, light, wind and thunder swept away the bloody mist and sprayed hot water, but the insect beetle and sparks scattered and only cleared 10 heads. He gasped and yelled with blood-red eyes, "Brother Fan, the strength is 2,800 and the defense is only 20%, the sea of insects pushed forward and the tanks pushed me back, the stamina was reduced by 80%, the axe speed was half a beat slower." Su Wan's vines danced wildly and the green dragon wrapped around the insects, but the poisonous juices repelled and broke. She hugged Lin Fan's arms with pale face and tears. "Lin Fan, the green plum trap failed and the speed was reduced by only 50%, the green dragon on the transportation line melted, the potion supply cannot keep up with the HP evaporation." Luo Li's fire rain poured down, the heat wave rolled down, and the smell was burning, but the green mist devoured the output and dropped to 8,000. She cleared her eyes and coughed up blood in despair. "President, the bug has blocked Feng Yan, the insect tide method has no solution to high defense, and I have 10% HP left after a wave of concentrated fire." Rex God of Thunder slashed the insect king with arcs of lightning. The bones cracked and green slurry exploded with a stinky smell. However, the insect swarm counterattacked and the poison needle stabbed into his shoulder, green blood flowed wildly. He knelt down and his blue eyes widened and trembled, shouting, "Boss of mortal world, the strength of 2,200 cannot withstand the group poison chain, 1,500 per second." The European and American god of war fell to 5 people, and the round battle strategy collapsed. The whole team of 50 people has a red and black HP panel. Intertwined, despair flooded the screen, half of the elites of the League of Gods have been wiped out. The abyssal insect swarm has a bottomless pit of 30,000 HP, level 38 cannot withstand the suppression of level 40. Retreat, President. There is only 3 meters left in the field of vision. The sea of insects clatters with iron hooves and pushes forward to crack the ground. Poisonous needles swipe through the air and pierce the bone marrow. The piles of corpses pile up and the rivers of blood flow into sticky ankles. The crisis is like a black cloud crushing the heart and making it hard to breathe. Lin Fan's divine wings fluttered and golden red pierced the green mist. The high-altitude data surged with blue light and buzzed loudly. His eyes locked on the weakness of the insect tide, the overload node of the rear row of insect queens. The red light flashed in anticipation, the battle will turn back. Han Zhao's forward pulls the aggro flank, Su Wan traps the lock insect and rear ankle slows down -200%. Luo Li lends me my intelligence. Move the fire storm to clear the middle row. Rex Thunder Chain breaks the poison zone. Data manipulation is activated, the CD of the whole map is reduced by 90%, the intelligence is temporarily +500, and the green fog explodes. The invisible ripples of gold and red explode, and the everyone's panel jingles, all attributes +40%, critical hit +180%, attack speed +1200. Han Xiao stared at the copper bell eyes, the axe handle hit the ground, rocks cracked and thundered, he laughed and jumped up. Strength 2800 +40% equals 3920. 50 consecutive shadows of the axe light, Brother Fan has divine foreknowledge. Agility 3500 plus Labaecan shadow, the insect defense 3500 clears the field with an axe, and the bloody wind sprays on my face. The axe sweeps away the blood mist, bursts of green liquid, and the stench rises to the sky, the head of the insect explodes, and the brains are everywhere. He carries the axe and roars with fighting spirit. Su Wanmei's eyes widened and her pretty face turned red. The green dragon was reborn, dancing wildly with green juice, eating back the insect queen, nourishing and corroding it. She excitedly waved her staff and screamed in admiration, Lin Fan's plan is against the sky. The mark buff superimposes the trap, 200% locking the insect queen and the agility drops to 0, the eternal domain rebirth plus 240% brothers corpses, the supply quadruples the sweet and sour medicine, and the scent is like rain. Luo Li's fire staff has red light. The scorching green mist was scorched by the explosive heat wave, and the stench filled her nose. Her clear eyes flashed with tears and she caressed Lin Fan's arms. The president's intelligence transfer is 1,600 plus 500 is equal to 2,100, and the phoenix flames are unlocked and the output is 35,000 plus the sea of fire swallowing insects, and the green mist is evaporated by the torrent. The fire and rain phoenix flames roared down, the sea of insects burned corpses flew across the black smoke, the screams evaporated, and the blood boiled. Rex's thunder sword charged up the electric arc and danced wildly with ozone pungent. His blonde hair flew up and he knelt down in shock, the black magic of mortal world is fully activated. The power of 3080 thunder chain cuts off the poisonous field, the insect swarm's HP is depleted and the red line is knelt down, the European and American god of war is resurrected and fights back. The insect swarm annihilated Ding Dang and exploded treasures. Upgraded gems piled up like a mountain with dazzling golden light. The devouring level of 50 elites soared to +7 with an average of 39. Lin Fan's panel exploded, level 45, strength 2500, agility 4200, endurance 2200, intelligence 3100, plus 1500 peak, attack speed plus 2800, data manipulation range expanded to the entire abyss, and CD reduced by 95%. Han Zhao's strength is 3500 axe god, agility is 3200 afterimage 100, Luo Li's output is 45,000 plus phoenix flame divine realm, Su Wan's buff rebirth plus 280% divine kingdom trap. The guild channel cheered the reversal, the elite of the divine alliance cleared the insect swarm, experience plus 500%, level 39, Brother Fan's intelligence is 3100, black and unparalleled. The green mist of the abyss channel dissipated, the data crystals under the feet were recycled and rare mines doubled, and the mountain of divine equipment fragments accumulated critical amulets plus 100%. The team advances to the center, the guild expands frenziedly, the Phoenix logo is globally searched, and the whole server is jealous of the barrage, Lin Fan's divine wings, agility of 4200, pulling thousands of afterimages. Intelligence of 3100 to control the torrent, guild buff plus 40% of all attributes, jealous to death. The competition is preheating, the registration of the Divine Beast League has exceeded 10,000. The fortress stayed for 5,000 rounds of anti-rift, and tens of thousands of elite European and African masters poured in, with an average level of 35 and a total combat power of 100,000 to dominate the list of the whole server. Su Wan hugged the design with a blush on her pretty face. The green light burst symbol was upgraded, and the golden-red phoenix flames soared into the sky. The heat wave was steaming, Lin Fan, Qingmei upgrade symbol unlocks the guild skill tree, Phoenix Nirvana, the whole team is resurrected without CD, data Phoenix domain, is stable plus 80% and reduces the collapse time by 10 hours, and rebirth plus 300% is eternal. The Shen Alliance skill tree is fully activated, swept the competition. Han Xiao laughed loudly and said, Su Meizi's magical skills. 10,000 people are invincible. Luo Li's fire stick attached to Lin Fan's heat wave, president, with the help of the skill tree, the output is 60,000, and the abyss boss will die after warming up. Rex's golden eyes worshipped, in the mortal world, thousands of European and American war gods have joined, and the top one in reputation will dominate the competition. The central crystal core of the abyss pulsates with green and black light, and Jiang Chen's voice echoes across the server like a knife scratching the ears, mortal clowns, the luck of the insect swarm of the mythical beast alliance. I have united with the top 20 guilds in the server, with a total combat power of 500,000 in the level 40 divine armor alliance, issued an encirclement and suppression order, the data abyss is blocked, I will detonate the crystal core. 100 hours after the collapse, your elite team's graveyard, the public thousands of people will be buried with him. The barrage across the server was filled with panic and jealousy, Jiang Chen's 500,000 yuan pressure. Lin Fan's intelligence of 3,100 can't withstand the encirclement and suppression, and the Phoenix symbol is shattered. The end of the League of Gods, a joke in the competition. The green mist reunited the boss, and the horizon flashed with murderous intent, and the black clouds of crisis overwhelmed the soul, and the team's HP was reddish and the heartbeat accelerated, and the oppression was like a rope strangling the neck. Lin Fan smiled faintly with the golden light of his divine wings, predicting that the red light would lock onto the core weakness, encirclement and suppression. Data bubble. Open Fengyu, reverse the abyss. The green and black spar core pulses like a devil's heart, humming low and vibrating, and the data fragments crackle under my feet. The sticky green mist penetrates into the pores and corrodes the skin, stinging like thousands of needles. The strong smell of sulfur and rotten corpses in the air makes the lungs burn, and the red-eyed BOS in the distance the S-horizon flashes with blood like a will-o'-the-wisp, the LV-40 guard's 100-headed carapace rubs and pushes forward, the poison domain debuff 80% of all attributes suppresses the elite team's 50-man panel, which flashes red and black, and loses HP like a flood. Every second the blood is deducted like a flood. The guild channel flooded the screen with despair like the doomsday bell. Guild President, Jiang Chen's 500,000 siege order has blocked all exits of the abyss. The spar core guards have 100,000 HP and 5,000 stinger chains to instantly kill the crispy ones. We have more than 1,000 dead in the will defense cracks of our fortress of 10,000 people. The average level of 35 can't hold down LV-40 suppression. Han Zhao's iron tower body was sweating like rain, and a cold feeling ran down his spine. The handle of the axe hit the ground and cracked rocks with thunder. Bell Eye's bloodshot trembled and roared, "Brother Fan, the strength of 3,500 axe god can't withstand the charge of 100 guards. The agility of 3,200 afterimage Bylus hatred is also blocked by the poison domain and the attack speed drops by 80%. The brothers of the Han family in the frontline fortress sent a message. Jiang Chen's vanguard broke through the door with 10,000 cavalry. The Phoenix buff plus 40% of all attributes were barely delayed. 2 waves have been destroyed in 3 consecutive battles. Su Wan's pretty face turned as white as death, her slender figure the hands tightly clenched Lin Fan's waist, and the knuckles twitched with coldness. Her green eyes shone with tears and she pressed close to his chest and choked with hot breath, "Lin Fan. Qingmei's heart is broken. The iconic skill tree Phoenix Nirvana has no CD and the resurrection cannot keep up with the accumulation of poisonous corpses. Rebirth plus 300% delay green mist dissolves corpses. Data Phoenix realm stability plus 80% wind leakage." Jiang Chen's voice mocks the whole server. The dream of thousands of people in the Divine Beast Alliance is turned into a joke. Luo Li fire staff. The suspended and trembling red light dimmed like a residual candle, and the redness and swelling in the palm of the hand burned and the heat spread on the skin. She retreated with clear eyes and panicked, coughing, and green blood streaks stretched and dripped to the ground, simmering and corroding. "President, the magic bug reoccurred and locked 70% of the output. The intelligence dropped from 2,100 to 800. The heat wave of the Phoenix Flame God realm was swallowed up by the Poison realm. The fire rain on the defense resistance meter could not clear 10 heads. The whole team's poisoned HP red line flashed and was destroyed. Rex's blonde hair was fluttering in the green wind, and cold sweat mixed with the smell of ozone thunder arc flowed wildly down his forehead. His blue eyes were wide and the veins in his sword-holding hand were trembling, and he knelt down and yelled, "Boss of Mortal World, the European and American God of War Alliance has sent a message. Jiang Chen's striker has 200,000 level 40 divine equipment, and the power of the Thor suit is 380. The thunder chain cannot break the poison domain chain, each hit deducts 3,000 HP, the abyss exit is blocked and the buzzing is deafening, the total combat power of 500,000 crushes our elite 50, and the guild is buried with thousands of people. The whole server exploded with panic and jealousy. Lin Fan's insect tide is so lucky. Jiang Chen, the Dark Dynasty unites the top 20 guilds, and dominates the top 10 reputation list. The Crystal Core is in his back garden, and the Divine Beast Alliance's intelligence of 3,100 data manipulation cannot withstand the encirclement and suppression. It collapsed and the entire server was wiped out in ashes in 100 hours. Lin Fan's mind predicted that the red light flashed wildly and the river of blood poured out crystal stones. Burst, the bubble of Jiang Chen's ambition hides the weakness, the suspicion within the united guild, the data overload backlash, his eyes as deep as the abyss scanned the churning green sea, the golden red wings of the god slightly vibrated to suppress the waves in his heart. Jiang Chen, your 500,000 looks like a piece of iron, but in fact it is a pile of sand that will collapse at the first poke. I predict that your alliance forward data will be unstable and explode when overloaded. Han Xiao will win consecutive battles at the front line of the fortress, Luo Li will bug out the rescue team, sneak attacks behind enemy lines will cut off food supplies, guild drills will increase the level of elites to level 50. The reversal begins with a psychological game. The lower the pressure, the higher the bounce. He smiled lightly and his voice was as low as the eve of a storm. Despair is an opportunity. Han Xiao, instant guild channel, 5 battles on the front line, using the infinite resurrection of the Phoenix Nirvana to draw hatred, and the stable rift in the data Phoenix domain dragging Jiang Chen's vanguard. Luo Li, locking the magic bug backlash from the source. Su Wan, the sign upgrade skill tree is expanded, attracting hidden masters. I control the entire abyss with data, and the team CD is reduced by 95%, and the intelligence is increased by 500. Let's go. The golden and red ripples of the buzzing sound exploded across the entire abyss. The clanking of everyone's panels suddenly increased all attributes by plus 50%, critical hit plus 200%, and attack speed plus 1,500. The green mist receded and the 3-meter field of vision became clear and rotten. Han Xiao Tongling's eyes widened and his blood spurted. The afterimage of his axe was swept away by hundreds of wind and thunder. He laughed and jumped up from the iron tower to press the formation and teleport to the front line of the fortress. Brother Fan is sane. Strength 3500 plus 50% equals 5250 axe god unparalleled, agility 3200 plus afterimage 2 million cavalry hatred, Phoenix Nirvana, resurrection, no CD, my brothers are dead the sea of axes counterattack. The green tide rolls in the fissure outside the fortress. Jiang Chen's vanguard, the level 40 cavalry, has 80,000 HP and 4,500 defenses. The ground cracks and sparks fly. The poisonous sting swishes through the air and pierces the bone marrow. The Han brothers' 500 tank HP red line flashes and screams. They fall to the ground and the blood rivers are sticky on their ankles. Brother Han, the cavalry has agility of 3,000. Plus charge lock, defense 4,500 can't break 10%, Phoenix buff plus 40% can barely hold off, destroy the team. Han Zhao's axe emperor came with thunder and roar, and hundreds of afterimages circled to attract hatred. The giant axe storm sprayed blood mist, hot green liquid exploded, and the stench rose into the sky. 500 cavalry were swept away, their heads exploded, and their brains were sprayed everywhere. He roared with war intent. Boiling, the first victory. Phoenix Nirvana resurrected 500 brothers, experience plus 300%, level increased to 37, Jiang Chen's cavalry lost all HP and knelt down to explode into a mountain of fragments. Jiang Chen, the vanguard deputy general, looked sallow, stared and trembled. Han Zhao's strength is 5,250. The afterimage of the axe god cannot be solved, the whole team's defense is 4,500, shattered with one axe, retreat. In the second battle of the series, Jiang Chen's bows and cavalry with 10,000 heads and an agility of 3,500 plus rained down poisonous arrows. The arrows covered the sky and filled the air with green poison, making the air sticky and choking. The walls of the fortress lost 20% of their HP and the cracks widened and the buzzing sound was deafening. Han Zhao's sweat was steaming hot, his axe speed was plus 1,500, and he cut thousands of afterimages in a row. His copper bell eyes breathed fire and laughed. In the second game, I'm on top of the battle. Agility 4800, arrow rain full of hatred, strength 5250, defense broken, 100% blood river boiling, Nirvana resurrected, bows and cavalry corpses to fight back. The archers screamed and evaporated, green blood spurted out, and the golden light of the upgraded gems dazzled the mountains. The Han brothers widened their eyes and knelt down in worship, shouting, Han, the power of the Axe Emperor, won 2 games in a row and doubled his experience level by 38. Jiang Chen's archers and cavalry were all wiped out and their total combat power dropped by 100,000. In the third and fourth games, Jiang Chen's spearmen and mages the tide surged, the shadow of the gun flashed with cold light, the explosion roared, the heat wave rolled, and the smell was burning. Han Zhao's invincible afterimage covered the entire field. Blood mist and green slurry intertwined with the stench. He gasped and laughed and his veins bulged. Brother Fan predicted it right. In the fifth game, the spearman with 90,000 HP and 5,000 defense also knelt down. Nirvana is infinite. In each round of battle, the guild's frontline upgrades soared by an average of 40, and the rare or recovery plus 300% of the magical equipment fragments doubled. Jiang Chen's voice was ghostly and distorted with trembling. Han Xiao clown, are you lucky to win 5 games in a row? The main force is 300,000, and the Dark Dynasty Divine Equipment LV-45 will crush you. The guild channel cheered for the reversal and exploded. Brother Han has won 5 consecutive victories on the front line. The Divine Alliance ranks among the top 3 in combat power. The Phoenix buff Nirvana and the invincible Jiang Chen vanguard collapsed. Luo Li's clear eyes flashed with tears and the fire wand struggled with red light. Her mind locked on the source of the magic bug. The abyss node green crystal was overloaded, the red light flashed forward, and the heat wave burned her palms. The redness and swelling spread and he coughed up green blood. President, the output of the bug lock is 80%, and the Guardian Mage's intelligence is 2,500 to suppress the Phoenix Flame God's domain. I borrowed the intelligence to transfer 2,100 plus 500 is equal to 2,600, and the backlash started. The fire rain and phoenix flames roared down, and the green crystal nodes exploded and the green mist backfired and evaporated. 500 guards' carapaces were burnt and crispy. The heat wave burned and putrid, the nose and blood boiled. She excitedly caressed Lin Fan's arms and screamed, the president is transferred. The output is 45,000 plus 60,000, the Phoenix Flame Divine Realm swallows the Mage Tide to clear the field with 100,000 HP, the bug is resolved, the whole team's magic is unlocked, the intelligence plus 40%. 50 members of the elite team regained their full HP and exploded with red light. Eyes wide with admiration, he knelt down and yelled, Goddess Luo Li saves the team. The unparalleled guards of the Sea of Fire kneel down and explode the Gem Gold Mountain, experience plus 400% level 42, Master Jiang Chen's chain is broken. The Arc of Rex's thunder sword danced wildly, and the ozone stung his nose. Lin Fan's psychological game is like a deep calculation in a chess game. Jiang Chen's 500,000 looks like an encirclement and suppression, but in fact the transportation line is exposed, and the data manipulates the whole area to predict his logistics crystal fleet. LV-42 guard 1000 HP 120,000, defense 5500, agility 3200. My intelligence is 3100 plus 500 is equal to 3600 attack speed plus 2800 instant steal. The mentality of food shortage collapses, and the alliance is in internal strife. Suppress their suspicions, suppress them first and then raise them. The golden red wings of the god pierce the green mist and swoop at high altitude, the blue light of data surges and hums, soul-shaking invisible ripples lock the thousands of miles of transportation lines behind enemy lines, the green light of the crystal convoy pulsates and jingles piles of resources, and the guard's 1,000-head carapace clicks to warn the poisonous field. Lin Fan smiled lightly and whispered, Data bubble, control. The CD was reduced by 95% instantly, and the intelligence of 3,600 controlled the green mist to backfire on the convoy. The crystal core fragments corroded the green slurry and splashed into the sky. The guard's HP dropped wildly, and the red line flashed and screamed miserably, "Invasion of the Black Agent." The crystal transport was melted by 80%, the agility was locked and unable to hold the afterimage, and the 120,000 HP was deducted in an instant. Lieutenant General Jiang Chen glared, eyes trembling. The whole server panicked. Mortal data god. A sneak attack cut off my logistics, 500,000 Alliance famine debuff, 60% endurance, half of the crystal resources evaporated, internal guilds defected. The whole server barrage was shocked and jealous. Lin Fan's intelligence is 3,600, he manipulates the abyss to steal the house. Jiang Chen's transportation is completely destroyed, the reputation of the Dark Dynasty drops to the top 50, the Divine Beast Alliance reverses the Dark Horse. The iron door of the guild's fortress warehouse creaked open and closed. Su Wan's pretty face was crimson and she embraced the design with green light erupting. The symbol was upgraded to a golden and red phoenix. The flames soared into the sky and the heat wave steamed. She screamed with excitement and worshipped Lin Fan, hugging Lin Fan's waist and breathing rapidly. Lin Fan defies the sky. Green Plum skill tree expands. Phoenix Nirvana / Data Phoenix domain is fully opened, attracting hidden masters. Asian server hidden assassin, Shadow Blade, level 48 agility 4500 plus joins. European server nanny, Holy Light, intelligence 3800 plus 500%. Non-server tank, Iron Wall, strength 4200 defense 7000. 10,000 people in the guild have become 20,000 elites, the average level is 42. The passerby of the hidden master stared in shock and whispered, "The buff of the Divine Beast Alliance is plus 50%, all attributes are reduced, and the Phoenix territory is reduced." After 10 hours of collapse, the Phoenix has unparalleled skills. I am so jealous of signing up. The guild's internal battlefield trial has begun, and 20,000 elite teams are fighting in a melee. The axe, sea, fire, thunder, chain vines are intertwined with blood, mist, heat wave, and the smell of ozone is scorching. Han Xiao Axe Emperor burst into laughter. The trial improves tacit understanding. Strength 5250 plus teammate linkage critical hit plus 250%, 5 consecutive wins experience transfer all the members. The enemy soldiers were engulfed in Luo Li's fire field, and corpses were flying everywhere. She looked at Lin Fan with clear eyes and said, "The output is 60,000 plus tacit understanding and superposition, the guild's tactical drills are seamless, and the average combat power is doubled." Rex Thunder God slashed the ground and cracked the ground with electric arcs, and the golden eyes worshipped. European and American masters are integrated, the tank forward output and logistics are perfect, and the trial winning rate is 95%. The numerical growth is soaring. Recycling insect swarms / guards / transporting explosive treasures, upgrading gems, devouring ding dong, the average level is 50, and forging divine armor fragments to become elite. Han Zhao's axe divine armor sets defense 6000, Luo Lifeng flame robe intelligence 3800 output 75,000 plus. Su Wan's divine country vine armor rebirth plus 350%, Rex Thunder armor strength 3800. The newly joined Shadow Blade has an agility of 5,200 and 1,000 assassination kills instantly. He knelt down in black robe and worshipped. President Lin Fan, with the divine skill of data manipulation and prediction, the Shadow Blade swears loyalty to the Divine Beast Alliance and sweeps the entire server. Holy Light nursed the white robe's rays of light healed the rotten green blood, and her green eyes worshipped. Rebirth plus 500% stacked Phoenix Nirvana, invincible logistics. The iron wall and the huge shield smashed into the ground and cracked rocks, and he roared, "Defense 7000, carry 500,000 encirclement and suppression, the tanks will never fall." Guild Channel Carnival, on average, there are 20,000 elites with level 50 divine equipment, 100% tactical understanding, top 1 in total combat power. 20 guilds in Jiang Chen Alliance have defected to 10. Lin Fan predicted in his mind that a red light flashed and the crystal core weakness was locked, and the psychological game was at its peak. Jiang Chen, your suspicion has arisen, food shortage and famine debuff have spread, 500,000 has turned into 400,000 scattered sand. My layout is complete, the slight reversal appears, the national war will begin in the main city, and the hegemony is in my hands. Asterisk. The high tower of the fortress overlooks the receding tide of the Green Sea. The golden-red flames of the phoenix symbol illuminate the night sky and the heat wave evaporates. The red light of the whole server system announcement pulses like thunder. The full-frequency broadcast is deafening. Emergency announcement, the national war is about to begin. The torrent of bugs spreads to the main city, and the battle for the crystal core begins across the server. The winner will receive the System Overlord buff plus 100% of all attributes, and the collapse will be delayed for 50 hours. The Divine Beast Alliance versus the Dark Alliance, a preheating competition to upgrade the national war. Mode. The barrage explosion shocked jealousy, Lin Fan's 20,000 level 50 elites. The national war swept across Jiang Chen, and the crisis in the bug city was reversed. Jiang Chen's voice was distorted and desperate, mortal. The national war bubble, our alliance is reorganized. The pulse of the green mist center crystal accelerated, the red-eyed boss roared and the ground cracked, the crisis turned, the black clouds dispersed, the heart beat faster and the fighting spirit boiled, Lin Fan's divine wings flapped and smiled and locked the core, national war. My home field. The golden-red phoenix in the tower of the fortress soars into the sky, heat waves steaming mixed with the stench of burnt sulfur hits the face, the system's red light announcement pulsates like thunder and shakes the eardrums, and the barrage of the whole server channel frantically flashes the screen with panic. The preliminaries of the national war have begun. The main city's bug torrent pours into the green tide and engulfs the streets, spar core fragments scatter in the arena. The Dark Alliance Jiang Chen's 100,000 LV-45 elites are pressing the realm, and the Divine Beast Alliance's 20,000 people can't stand it, right? The average level is 50, so what about the magical equipment? Jiang Chen's total combat power is in the top 3 of the server, and the famine debuff is only minus 30%. The Vanguard has reorganized 50,000 cavalry, 90,000 HP and 5,500 defenses to charge and break the ground. The green mist in the center of the abyss rolled like a tsunami, the green and black vortex roared on the horizon of the main city in the distance, the red-eyed boss shadow towered hundreds of meters, and the bloody ghost fire wandered, and the LV-45 guard's carapace clicked and pushed forward, and the sting chain whizzed through the air with a biting chill. The guild channel filled the screen with despair like the sound of a doomsday bell. Guild President, Jiang Chen's 100,000-strong army blocked the 3 gates of the main city, the cavalry's agility of 3,800 plus charged to lock the exit of the fortress, the mage fleet's intelligence of 3,200, fire and rain roared and the heat wave rolled in, and the iron wall of tanks pressed against the front line of 6,500, Han Ji's Axe Emperor. We can't hold back the hatred of the group. Our 20,000 elite HP red line flashes, debuff 80% of all attributes, and the tacit understanding of the trial is 100% unable to withstand the sea of people. Han Xiao Iron Tower's body was dripping with sweat, and coldness was steaming down his spine. The axe handle smashed against the tower, and the rocks cracked with thunder, and his copper bell eyes were bloodshot and trembling. Roar, Brother Fan, with 5,250 strength and 200 axe god remnants, they can barely hold the line. Jiang Chen's cavalry has 50,000 HP, 90,000 defenses and 5,500 poisonous stings, which instantly kills the back row. Its agility, 4,800 aggro, is locked and its attack speed drops by 70%. The Shadow Blade brothers on the front line send a message, and 500 dead remnants are instantly killed. Su Wan Xiao's face turned as white as death. She tightly grasped Lin Fan's waist with her delicate hands, and her knuckles twitched with coldness and pain. Her green eyes shone with tears, and she pressed her body against his chest and choked with hot breath. Lin Fan. Qingmei's heart is broken. Divine Kingdom Vine Armor Rebirth plus 350% can't keep up with the pile of corpses. Data in Phoenix territory is stable plus 80%. Wind leakage and green mist seep in. Jiang Chen laughed at the whole server, and the 20,000 dreams of the Divine Beast Alliance were shattered into dust. Luo Li's fire stick floated and trembled, the red light was as dim as a candle, the redness and swelling in the palm of her hand spread, and the heat spread to her skin. She retreated in panic with clear eyes, coughing, and green blood streaks stretched and dripped to the ground, nourishing and corroding. President, the output of Feng Yen Divine Realm is 6,000. 0 plus was suppressed by magic resistance, and the intelligence of 3,800 dropped to 1,200. The ultimate magic locked Jiang Chen's fleet and the intelligence of 3,200 counterattacked, and our crispy skin was instantly destroyed. Thousands of blurred shadows in the black robe of the Shadow Blade, the black eyes widened and veins popped out in the hands holding the dagger, and they knelt down and yelled, President, Agility 520. The crisp skin of the assassin cavalry can't withstand the volley of thousands of arrows. The Holy Light Nurse reborn with a CD delay of 500%. The Iron Wall defends against 7,000 tanks. The 100,000 strong army crushes us. And our winning rate in the trial drops to 0%. Rex's blonde hair danced wildly and was blown by the green wind. The smell of cold sweat mixed with ozone and lightning arcs ran down his forehead. Flo, his blue eyes widened and his sword-holding hand trembled. Boss Mortal Chen, European and American God of War Intelligence, Jiang Chen Alliance has stopped internal strife, reorganized 100,000 gods to press the realm. Thunder God Armor has a power of 3,800 thunder chains that cannot break the poisonous realm. Every hit deducts 4,000 HP. The exit of the main city is buzzing and blocked, and everyone will be buried with him. The server-wide barrage exploded and ridiculed jealousy like poisonous arrows. Lin Fan's luck in data manipulation has exploded. Jiang Chen's Dark Dynasty's reputation has risen to the top 10, evidence of bug self-interest. It's a joke. The Divine Beast Alliance's intelligence of 3,600 cannot withstand a sea of 100,000 people, and the whole server collapsed in 90 hours. Jiang Chen's ghostly voice was distorted and laughed, broadcast across the server, as cold as a knife scraping bones. Mortal clown, I am the preliminaries of the national war. 100,000 cavalry crushed your fortress. Famine debuff. The supply of crystal fragments is unlimited. The Alliance's 400,000 main force is on standby. You 20,000 insects kneel down and lick it. The blood rivers in the arena of the main city of Green Mist are sticky. The cavalry charges, sparks fly, the thunder of the horses' hooves shakes the soul, the mage fleet roars with fire and rain, the heat wave is scorching and the smell is scorching, and the tank shield wall advances and the friction of the iron is harsh. Lin Fan predicted in his mind that red light flashed wildly and a sea of blood poured out. Jiang Chen's secret library of bug crystals was exposed, and suspicions within the alliance were like a powder keg. His eyes were as deep as the abyss, scanning the turbulent green sea, and the golden red wings of the god trembled slightly to suppress the waves in his heart. Jiang Chen's 100,000 looks like an iron plate, but in fact it is a pile of sand, which will collapse at the first poke. I predict that the data in your bug's private database will be unstable and explode when overloaded. The troops will be divided into 3 groups to attack its center in a surprise attack. Han Xiao will be beheaded, Su Wan's logistics will be flawless, Luo Li will destroy the fleet, and all the servers will defect after exposing the evidence of self-interest. The lower the pressure, the higher the bounce. He smiled lightly and his voice was as low as the eve of a storm. Despair is an opportunity. Divide the troops into 3 groups. Han Xiao leads 1,000 axe tanks into the enemy and beheads Jiang Chen's body. The Shadow Blade Iron Wall presses the formation to attract hatred. Su Wan's logistics and the vine armor of the Divine Kingdom stabilize the fortress. Phoenix Nirvana / Data Phoenix domain is fully open to reduce debuff 95%. Luo Li's ultimate Phoenix Flame destroys Master Jiang Chen's fleet. And Rex's Holy Light, Fire, and Thunder are linked together. I control the whole area of the main city and sneak attack the bug's private bank to cut off its foundation. The team's CD is reduced by 98%, the intelligence is plus 800, the critical hit is plus 300%, and the attack speed is plus 2000. Let's go. The golden and red phoenix ripples of the buzzing masterpiece exploded across the entire main city. The crowd's panels jingled and all attributes skyrocketed by plus 60%, unlimited resurrection, and experience plus 500%. The green mist receded and the 5-meter field of vision became clear and rancid, turning into a bloody heat wave. Han Xiao Tongling's eyes widened and his blood spurted. 300 wind and thunder swept away the afterimage of his axe. He laughed loudly and jumped up from the iron tower to press the formation and teleport to the enemy. Brother Fan is sane. Strength 5250 plus 60% equals 8400 axe god unparalleled, agility 4800 plus afterimage 300 draws 100,000 hatred, Phoenix Nirvana resurrection infinite eye, 1,000 brother corpses rise up a sea of axes to fight back and kill Jiang Chen's dog head. Jiang Chen in the center of the main city arena. The main body's golden armor flashes with HP 150,000 and defense is 7,000. The 100,000 cavalry tanks around him push forward around the shield wall. The rain of poisonous arrows pierces the air and pierces the bone marrow. Han Zhao's axe emperor descends with thunder and roar. 300 afterimages circle around to attract hatred. The giant axe storm blood mist sprays hot green slurry. Beheaded. Jiang Chen's HP was deducted by 30%, and his defense was 7,000. The shattered axe mark was deep and the bones were visible. Thousands of shadow blade shadows instantly killed the guard's crispy skin. The shadow blade's black-robed assassin's blurry storm dagger flashed with cold light, killing 500 cavalry in a row. Blood spurted from his throat. He knelt down in worship of Han's axe emperor and roared, agility 5200 plus 1000 afterimages, 300% critical hit, cavalry HP 90,000, iron wall defense 7 in an instant. 000 to hold back the tank tide, experience plus 500%, level up to 52. The giant iron wall smashed into the ground and cracked rocks. He roared with his eyes rounded, defense 7,000 plus 60% equals 11,200 can't carry 100,000 charges. Brother Han will behead him. Jiang Chen's face was sallow, eyes were trembling, and he retreated, his voice was distorted and panicked. Han Zhao's strength is 8,400. The axe shadow cannot be solved, the whole army is retreating in case of shattering. Su Wan's logistics fortress Divine Country's vine armor erupted with green light, the vines coiled around the wall like giant pythons and grew iron thorns with cold light. The golden red flames of the Phoenix Nirvana shone with heat and steam. Her pretty face turned crimson and she worshipped Lin Fan in excitement. She hugged Lin Fan's waist and screamed with hot breath, Lin Fan is against the sky. Qing. Plum Skill Tree Phoenix Nirvana resurrects the whole team without CD, rebirth plus 400%, data Phoenix domain stability plus 90% reduces collapse for 15 hours, Holy Light Nurse has intelligence 3,800 plus rebirth plus 600% superimposed invincible logistics, trial 20,000 elite HP lock full debuff cleared. Outside the fortress, thousands of Jiang Chen's cavalry charged, the ground cracked and horse hooves thundered, the vines burst and pierced the armor, spraying green blood and sticky ankles, the white robe of holy light shone and healed the blood, and her green eyes caressed Su Wan's arms, sister god's domain. Rebirth plus 600% Nirvana linkage, the tank line is as stable as a mountain. The guild channel exploded with cheers, Su Meizi's logistics are seamless. The fortress defense is plus 8,000, the average experience level of Jiang Chen's cavalry corpses is 53, and the total combat power is double. Luo Li's clear eyes flashed with tears. The red light of the fire wand burst into flames. Her mind locked on Jiang Chen's mage fleet, 100 floating ships. Intelligence, 3,200. Fire rain roared, heat waves rolled and scorched. The ultimate magic prediction flashed red. Her palms were red and swollen, and the heat wave burned and spread. She coughed. Blood transfer excitement, President God transferred. Intelligence 3800 plus 800 is equal to 4580, output 60,000 plus 90,000, Phoenix flames are finally destroyed. The fire rain and Phoenix flames poured down like meteor showers, and the fleet exploded with green mist and steamed back. The carapace of the thousand-headed mage was charred and crispy, the heat wave was scorched and putrid, and the river was boiling with blood. The ship fragments were piled up in the mountains. She screamed and caressed Lin Fan's arms. The Phoenix Flame Divine Realm swallowed the fleet with 120,000 HP and cleared the battlefield. The magic resistance of the whole team was also reduced. Unlocked intelligence plus 50%. Rex's thunder sword danced wildly with arcs of ozone and stung his nose. His blue eyes worshipped and laughed as the thunder god slashed the ground and cracked the ground with arcs of lightning. Luo Li's fire and thunder linkage is unparalleled. The power is 3,800 plus the thunder chain breaks the ship lock, the European and American god of war's output is doubled, and the main city passage is clear. Lin Fan's golden red wings pierced the green mist and dived at high altitude. The blue light of data surged and hummed, soul-shaking, invisible ripples locked in a hidden cave thousands of miles away from Jiang Chen's bug private warehouse. The green light of spar fragments pulsed and jingled, and resources piled up in the mountains. LV-48 guards with 2,000 HP, 140,000 HP and 6,000 poison-proof zones opened. He smiled lightly and whispered, "Data bubble, control." The CD is reduced by 98%. Instantaneous, intelligence 3600 plus 800 is equal to 4400 attack speed plus 2800 control. The green mist bites back the private bank. The crystal core corrodes the green slurry and splashes into the sky. The guard's HP drops wildly and the red line flashes and screams. Black hacker invasion. 90% of the private bank was dissolved, and the afterimage was locked quickly. HP 140,000 instantly deducted the light explosion evidence all over the server. Lin Fan's data flowed across the server and announced the red light explosion evidence projection. Jiang Chen embezzled 80% of the bug crystals, manipulated the torrent for profit, and betrayed his teammates in internal strife in the alliance. The whole server was shocked and the barrage changed sides and exploded, Jiang Chen's self-interested dog. The evidence is irrefutable. The data god of the Divine Beast Alliance Lin Fan revealed that 20 Dark Alliance families have defected, and the 100,000-strong army is fighting among themselves. Vice General Jiang Chen stared and trembled, and the whole server panicked. Guild President Bug's private bank is destroyed, famine debuff, 90% stamina, the alliance collapses. Han Xiao rushed into the sea of axes and beheaded Jiang Chen, with 10% of his HP left. He roared and laughed, Brother Fan's prediction was accurate. Jiang Chen knelt down and exploded the divine equipment, and the 100,000 troops were scattered. The guild elites widened their eyes and worshipped, kneeling down and shouting, Lin Fan, the commander-in-chief. The three-way surprise attack was reversed, the experience plus 800% level surged to 55, and the tactical tacit understanding reached 150% of the total combat power to dominate the entire server. At the climax of the national war preliminaries, a sea of blood boiled in the center of the arena, and the smell of fishy heat filled the sky. Jiangchen Alliance's 100,000 people collapsed and internal strife broke out. Swords clashed with each other, irons clanged and screamed. The green fog receded and the main city of Qingmei Phoenix shone golden and red in the night sky. The system's golden light announcement pulsed with thunder, the Divine Beast Alliance wins the national war preliminaries. Overlord buff plus 100% all attributes are unlocked, crash delay is 50 hours, guild level LV5 total combat power is top 1 in all servers, members have an average upgrade of 60 plus divine equipment sets are fully activated. 20,000 elite panels jingled, Han Xiao level 60, strength 10,000 plus axe god set defense 9,000, agility, 6,000 afterimage 500, Luo Li's output is 150,000 plus intelligence 5,000, Phoenix Flame Robe Ultimate Divine Realm, Su Wan's rebirth plus 500% Divine Kingdom Vine Armor Defense 8000, Shadow Blade Agility 6500, Afterimage 2000, Holy Light Rebirth plus 800%, Iron Wall Defense 12,000, Rex's Strength 5000, full set of Thunder God Armor, Lin Fan's Level 60, Intelligence 5000 plus Divine Wing. Set attack speed plus 4000 data to control the world. Passers-by across the server stared in admiration and shouted, Lin Fan Divine Alliance swept the national war. 3 surprise attacks revealed selfish interests, Jiang Chen's dog head fell to the ground, the entire server defected to the Divine Beast Alliance, the Overlord buff plus 100% was jealous, and the registration guild was full. Han Xiao laughed and hugged Lin Fan with veins on his shoulders. Brother Fan, the Axe Emperor will always follow you. Level 60 Strength 10,000 is invincible, it's so exciting to be the national champion. Su Wan, with tears in her eyes, hugged Lin Fan's waist and pressed her chest to her chest, blushing and screaming, Young Plum will always be with you. A new era for the guild's overlord. Luo Li's clear eyes caressed her arms with a fiery wave of passion. President, the Phoenix flames will burn forever. Rex's golden eyes knelt down and yelled, Overlord of the mortal world, all surrender. Shadow Blade Iron Wall and Holy Light knelt down and pledged loyalty, the magical skill of data, I will follow you to the death. Jiang Chen's voice echoed with wild laughter in the night sky, Fangchen, the night attack is successful. Half of the core stone fragments are obtained. The alliance of thousands will break the fortress tomorrow, the collapse will accelerate, and you will be doomed. Lin Fan's eyes were like daggers, the golden light of the divine wings was strong, and the red light locked on the fleeing shadow, data tracking, the inner ghost is exposed. Rex, block the exit. Danger is everywhere, thousands of people are approaching looming outside the fortress, black clouds are murderous and bloody, the guild channel is fighting again, President, the crystal crisis is counterattack. The Divine Beast Alliance will not fall, the savior of the server. The afterglow of the golden-red phoenix flames pulsates in the tower of the fortress, the heat wave mixed with the scorched earth is bloody and the nose is filled with blood. The black hole in the abyss is like the huge mouth of a giant beast, humming and roaring and spitting out the stench of green mist. The level 60 guardian beast herd, the red-eyed will-o'-the-wisp, wanders 100 meters away from the phantom ground, cracking rocks and sparks flying. The whole server live broadcast barrage went crazy and filled the screen with panic and shocked the soul. What about the champion of the Divine Beast Alliance? The mortality rate of the final copy of Collapse Abyss is 99.9%, LV60 Beast Tide HP 200,000, Defense 10,000, Poison Zone Instant Kill, Level 60 Divine Equipment, Famine Debuff, 95% All Attribute Lock Die, 50,000 elites will be wiped out in ashes. Lin Fan's data god can't withstand the torrent of data. The guild channel jingled like a bell of despair. President, the green tide roars at the entrance of the abyss, the red light flashes and the sea of blood pours out. The European and American and Japanese server masters persuaded them to retreat. The trial winning rate dropped by 5%, the Overlord buff even F plus 100% can't stop the crowd of guardian bosses from laughing. Han Xiao Iron Tower's body was filled with cold sweat dripping down his back, and the stone slabs were sizzling. The handle of his axe hit the tower and cracked with thunder. His bloodshot eyes swelled and he trembled. Brother Fan, 10,000 strength plus 9,000 axe armor, 600 agility. 0 The 500 afterimages couldn't withstand the charge of 10,000 beasts. The HP was deducted by 8,000 per second and the poisonous sting was locked. The attack speed was reduced by 90%. The brother who opened the way was killed by 300 instant kills. Su Wan's pretty face turned white, her knuckles were cold and her arms twitched, her green eyes shone with tears and she breathed hotly and choked on her chest. Lin Fan. Qingmei is heartbroken, Divine Kingdom Vine Armor Rebirth plus 500% cannot keep up with the Corpse Mountain. Data Phoenix Realm Stability plus 90% Leakage Green Mist Infiltrate, the whole server laughs at the Divine Beast Alliance's 50,000 dreams shattered. Luo Li's fire stick floated with dim red light and trembled. and the palm of her hand was backfired with burning pain, swelling, coughing, and green blood streaks corroding the ground. Qingmei retreated in panic and screamed, "President, the output of Fengyan Divine Realm is 150,000 plus the intelligence suppressed by Poison Realm's magic resistance is 5,000, but 1,500 is lost. The ultimate seal tributary bug backfires and the crispy skin is wiped out. The shadow of the Shadow Blade's black robe is blurred, the black eyes are round, the veins are bulging in the hand of the dagger, and he kneels and shouts, agility 6,500 afterimages, 2,000 assassination beasts, even the crispy skin can't withstand the poisonous stings of thousands of arrows, holy light rebirth plus 800% CD delay, the iron wall can resist 12,000 tank line cracks. 50,000 elite debuff, 95% trial tacit understanding drops 50%. Rex's blonde hair dances in the green wind and smells of ozone. Cold sweat dripped from his nose, his blue eyes widened and he held the sword and trembled, boss of mortal world, global broadcast of European and American intelligence, numerical challenge level attributes of the abyss minus 2,000 per level, guardian beast herd HP 200,000. Defense of 10,000 poison areas fully open, torrent restart countdown 50 hours, all will be buried with you. The whole server barrage exploded with ridicule and jealousy like a poisonous arrow. Lin Fan's luck in the national war is overwhelming. No one has cleared the final copy of the abyss. 50,000 gods are installed as cannon fodder. Although Jiang Chen's dog's head has landed, the dark remnants are lurking and waiting for opportunities. The server crashed for 90 hours and the dream of the overlord of the Divine Beast Alliance was shattered. Passers-by in the live broadcast room glared at the screen. The god of war in the European server advises Lin Fan not to wander, and the masters in the Asian server predict all the predictions were wiped out, and the guild's reputation became a god. What a joke, the entrance to the abyss has swallowed up a pile of 30,000 scattered human corpses. Lin Fan predicted that the source of the bugs in the abyss flashed wildly, and the green veins pulsing in the crystal core concealed the infiltration trajectory of Jiang Chen's fake death. His eyes were as deep as the abyss, scanning the green sea, and the golden red wings trembled to suppress the fighting spirit. The abyss looks like a desperate situation, but in fact it is an upgraded holy land. The numerical challenges at each level were lowered and then exploded. Han Xiao slaughtered the tide of beasts with his axe, Su Wan's buff was seamless, Luo Li sealed the tributaries, my data manipulated the core of the level to gain the favor of divine beasts, and Jiang Chen's remnants were wiped out in one fell swoop. The lower the pressure, the higher the bounce. He smiled faintly and spoke in a low voice like the eve of a storm, resounding throughout the guild, assemble 50,000 elites, the Divine Beast Alliance is fully open. Han Xiao Axe Emperor leads the way to slaughter the beast tide, and 1,000 residual images are overwhelming. Soen Divine Kingdom Vine Armor maintains the Overlord buff plus 100% of all attributes, Rebirth plus 500% Phoenix Nirvana Infinite. Luoli Fengyan seals the tributary bug Fire Domain Alliance move, the three-way linkage of Rex's Shadow Blade, Iron Wall, and Holy Light increases the hatred and output. I control the levels to steal the core crystals, reducing the team's CD by 99%, increasing the intelligence by 1,000, critical hit by 500%, attack speed by 300, and each level upgrading with plus 1,000 attributes. The global live broadcast begins. The Abyss, the final game. The golden and red phoenix ripples of the buzzing masterpiece exploded across the entire entrance to the Abyss. The system jingle exploded by 50,000. The elite panel had all attributes plus 100%, unlimited resurrection, and experience plus 1000%. The green mist receded and the 10-meter field of vision turned clear and rancid into a bloody heat wave. The live broadcast barrage across the server was shocked and changed sides. The 50,000 Overlord buff of the Divine Beast Alliance is on. Lin Fan's data master layout, the tacit understanding of the trial, the total combat power of 200% exploded across the server. Han Xiao Tongling's eyes widened, his blood spurted out, and he jumped up to the iron tower with laughter. In the teleportation beast tide, the afterimage of the axe was swept by 500 winds and thunders, thunder and roar, and his huge axe storm, blood mist, green slurry burst into the sky, and the stench rose into the sky, killing 3,000 LV-60 beasts with their brains sprayed with fishy heat. Brother Fan has foreknowledge. Power. 10,000 plus 1,000 is equal to 11,000 Axe God unparalleled, 6,000 agility plus 500 afterimages, 200,000 beast hatred, Phoenix Nirvana resurrection, unlimited 1,000 axes, tank corpses, and a sea of axes to counterattack the first floor. Shadow Blade Black. The fuzzy-robed assassin, Storm Dagger, Cold Light, swished away and killed a 1,000-headed beast with green blood spraying from its throat. His black eyes worshipped him and he knelt down and shouted, Han, the power of the Axe Emperor. Agility 6,500 plus afterimage 2,000, critical hit 500%, instant HP 200,000 beast's crispy skin, the iron wall resists 12,000 plus and the tank tide cannot move, the experience plus 1,000% level increases to 62. The iron wall's giant shield smashed into the ground and cracked rocks, and he roared, his eyes wide and blue veins popped out. Defense 12,000 plus 1,000 is equal to 3,000 beasts charged forward, the earth cracked and the thunder continued. Brother Han slaughtered the road and opened up a river of blood. The white robe of holy light shone brightly and healed the pile of green corpses, and the blood river turned fragrant. Her green eyes worshipped Han Zhao's arms, Axe Emperor Slayer God. Rebirth plus 800% Nirvana couple. The whole team's HP is locked and the debuff is cleared, and the first level is cleared. The green wall pulsation value of the first level of the abyss challenged the red light to suppress the whole team's attributes minus 2,000, and Han Zhao's sea of axes swept away the beast tide and the ground trembled. The layer core crystal fragments clang exploded with a torrent of experience. The whole team's panel clang was greatly upgraded with level plus 5 and attributes plus 1,000. Han Zhao's strength soared to 12,000, and the average level 65 divine armor suit of 50,000 elites flashed. Su Wan's logistics divine kingdom's vine armor erupted with green light. The giant vine python coiled around the abyss passage and grew iron thorns with cold light. The overlord buff plus 100% of all attributes pulsated with heat waves. Her pretty face turned crimson and she worshipped Lin Fan in excitement. She hugged Lin Fan's waist and screamed with hot breath, Lin Fan is against the sky. Qingmei Divine Kingdom Vine Armor Rebirth plus 500% plus 1000 no CD resurrection of the whole team, Data Phoenix Domain Stability plus 95% reduction of collapse for 40 hours, Holy Light Wet Nurse Rebirth plus 800% superimposed intelligence plus 2000 invincible logistics, Trial 50,000 elite HP, Full Blood debuff minus 99%. The aftermath of the beast wave outside the channel charged, the ground cracked, horse hooves thundered, the vines exploded and pierced the armor, spraying green blood and sticky ankles, the guild channel exploded with cheers, Su Meizi buffs the divine realm. The defense plus 10,000 channel is as stable as a fortress, the average experience level of the beast corpse is 67, and the total combat power has been tripled. The whole server is broadcasting to become a god. Passers-by in the live broadcast room from global players stared in admiration and refreshed the screen. The European server is kneeling. Su Wan's logistics buff is incredible, the reputation of the Divine Beast Alliance is plus 5,000, all servers have registered, and the master of the Asian server has turned to Lin Fan's layout, but there is no solution. Luo Li's clear eyes flashed with tears, the fire staff's red light struggled and locked the tributary bug, and the green vortex roared. Her intelligence was 5,000 plus 1,000 is equal to 600. Zero palms became red, swollen, and painful, then screamed with excitement, the president is transferred. Output 150,000 plus 250,000 liters of Phoenix Flames, the ultimate seal is opened. Fire rain, Phoenix Flames, meteorites pouring down, roaring, evaporating tributaries, green mist, the 1,000-headed bug beast's carapace is charred and crispy, the heat wave scorched the rancid blood river and boiled. She caressed Lin Fan's arms and clung to the hot wave of fire, the Phoenix Flame Divine Realm swallows the tributaries and clears the area with 250,000 HP. The magic resistance explodes and the whole team kneels down. The magic unlocks the intelligence plus 100%. The second level opens. Rex's thunder sword arc dances wildly in the ozone. Pungent blue eyes worship the laughing thunder god, slashing the ground and cracking the ground with arcs of lightning. Luo Li's fire and thunder linkage is unparalleled. The power is 5,000 plus 1,000 is equal to 6,000. The lightning chain breaks the bug lock. The output of the European and American masters is doubled to suppress the formation. The live barrage surrenders to the Divine Beast Alliance. Lin Fan's divine wings, golden and red, pierce the green mist and swoop into the abyss. The second layer of data, blue light surges and hums to shake the soul. Invisible ripples lock the core of the level. The LV-62 Guardian crystal pulsates with green light. Resources pile up. The LV-62 Beast Guard has 3,000 HP, 250,000 HP, 12,000 poison zone. Numerical challenge. Attribute -3,000 suppresses the entire team. The red line on the panel flashes. He smiled lightly and whispered, "Data bubble, control." CD reduced by 99%, instant intelligence 5,000 plus 1,000 is equal to 6,000, attack speed plus 4,000 plus 3,000, control, green mist backfired at the core, crystals corroded the green slurry, splashed with stench, soared into the sky, the beast guards lost HP and screamed, "Black invasion." The level was 95% dissolved, and the agility locked afterimage couldn't be held back. The HP 250,000 instantly exploded the Divine Beast Pet contract. The system's golden light jingle Divine Beast Pet, Phoenix Thunder Beast, fell on Lin Fan's shoulders. The golden red thunder wings fluttered, the arc fire wave was hot, and the ozone was heated. The attributes shared by the whole team were critical hit plus 800% and thunder fire output plus 200%. The second level beast tide collapsed and started fighting among themselves. The whole team was upgraded with plus 1,000 attributes soaring. Han Zhao's strength was 13,000, the axe shadows were thousands of ways, Luo Li's output was 400,000 plus, Su Wan was reborn at plus 2,000%, and 50,000 elites with an average total combat power of level 70 dominated the live broadcast. The entire server's barrage exploded with admiration, Lin Fan's data god pet Phoenix Thunder Beast. The control of each level is incredible, the attributes are plus 1,000 without pressure, the reputation of the Divine Beast Alliance is #1 in the whole server, and European, American, Japanese and Korean masters kneel down and sign up. The green mist tsunami in the third layer of the abyss is even more crazy. The phantom of the level 65 Beast King is towering. The blood glow will-o'-the-wisp roars and splits the poisonous sting chain. It swishes through the air and pierces the bone marrow. The numerical challenge is -4,000. The whole team's debuff overlapping panel flashes in despair. The afterimage of Han Zhao's Axe Emperor opens the way. Thousands of storms and blood mist spray and slaughter 10,000 heads. The tide of beasts, he was sweating profusely, roaring and laughing wildly. Brother Fan has Phoenix Thunder Beast buff power 14,000 plus thunder and fire axe unparalleled, agility 7,000, 1,000 stacks of afterimages, critical hit 800% HP 250,000 Beast King deducts 50%, the path-breaking brother resurrects the infinite sea of corpses to fight back. Su Wan's Tingjia channel expansion Zhang Fang's 15,000 is stable, Luo Li's Feng Yen seal tributaries are linked to the Sea of Fire, the thunder wings of the Phoenix Thunder Beast are roaring, and the heat waves are rolling. 50,000 elites are slaughtered layer by layer, and their attributes are upgraded to level 75. The global live broadcast audience has exceeded 100 million. The barrage salutes, the Divine Beast Alliance is invincible in slaughtering the abyss. Lin Fan's layout has plus 1,000 attributes per layer. The sex god pet is shared, and the guild's total combat power of level 6 is delayed for 30 hours before the first one of the guild is registered. Rex's blue eyes filled with tears and he knelt down in admiration and shouted, "Overlord of the mortal world. Thunder God armor plus Phoenix Thunder Beast's power of 7,000 thunder and fire split the ground, all European and American servers surrendered and donated resources to the live broadcast. Advancing layer by layer to the bottom of the 9th layer of the abyss, the core crystal green veins are beating wildly and buzzing like the heart. The LV-70 Ultimate Guardian Beast Herd has 100,000 HP, 300,000 defense, 15,000 poison zone, the torrent is pouring into the sky, and the numerical challenge is minus 10,000 suppression. The whole team's panel flashes red and black, debuff, 99%. The Bell of Despair, the whole server is live broadcast to the peak of panic, the Beast Alliance cannot withstand it. The Beast Herd is crushing in a sea of 100,000 people. The traces of Jiang Chen's remnant party in the crystal core flashed and he was resurrected and infiltrated to rob. Lin Fan's dream was shattered in the pile of 50,000 elite corpses. Jiang Chen's ghostly black robe was reborn, and his golden armor was dim and had 50,000 HP to prevent it from shattering. The Dark Remnant Party and 10,000 cavalry tanks around him were locked in a poisonous zone. His voice was distorted and the whole server broadcast was as cold as a knife and shivering in despair. Lin Fan, clown. I have the fake death bug to resurrect the crystal core, and the Dark Dynasty is reborn with 100,000. The poisonous domain of the Remnant Party instantly kills 50,000 of your bugs. The server crashes and I am the fisherman, and I will take advantage of it. The whole server kneels down and licks it. Vice General Jiang Chen glared and trembled, kneeling and shouting, the president has resurrected the god. But the level 570 Phoenix Thunder buff attribute of the Divine Beast Alliance is off the charts. Our beast group with 300,000 HP can't hold back the hatred, and the famine debuff, 99% endurance collapses. Han Zhao's axe burst into the beast group and beheaded Jiang Chen. Thousands of blood mist and green liquid exploded in the path. Split, he roared with veins popping out, Jiang Chen, go back to fake death. Brother Fan's data is locked on your trajectory, 15,000 strength plus Axe God Beast Slayer King's HP will be deducted by 80%, and the Remnant Party's 10,000 cavalry will be shattered and aggroed. Su Wan's Divine Kingdom buffs are fully activated and reborn plus 3,000% resurrect the Sea of Corpses. Lin Fan's divine wings swooped down and controlled the blue light of the core crystal to lock Jiang Chen's main body and the hub of the beast group with buzzing. Intelligence 7000 plus attack speed plus 7000 data bubble instantaneous green mist to backfire the crystal beast king's scream, HP dropped wildly and the red line exploded. The divine beast pet Phoenix Thunder Beast Thunder Wings exploded to share the whole team's critical hit plus 1000%. And the output increased 10 times. The crystal core golden light explodes and the evidence is projected across the entire server. Jiang Chen faked his death to steal 80% of the source of bugs, and manipulated the beast herd to profit from the entire server. Jiang Chen's face turned sallow and ashen, he stared, trembling, and stepped back with his knees hitting the ground. His voice was panicked and twisted, and he choked with regret, no. Lin Fan, the data god. Your three-way surprise attack has been manipulated at every level. Even after my resurrection, I knelt down. All the private crystals were destroyed, the Dark Dynasty was destroyed forever, and the whole server turned against me. I regret that my dreams were shattered. Spare my life. The barrage in the whole server shocked and worshipped and exploded. Jiang Chen Guta knelt down in despair. Lin Fan's divine pet Phoenix Thunder Beast plus data manipulation exposed a group of 100,000 beasts for personal gain. The Divine Beast Alliance's 50,000 level 80 attributes and 20,000 plus total combat power ranked first in the universe, and the reputation was to be the god of eternal supremacy. Han Zhao's axe shadow instantly killed Jiang Chen's HP and cleared the divine armor. He laughed and hugged Lin Fan with veins popping up on his shoulders. Brother Fan is the ultimate god killer. Jiang Chen Go the head will be broken forever, and the Axe Emperor will follow you forever. Su Wan hugged her waist with excitement and screamed in crimson, Young Plum will always be with you. The core of the spar is broken and dissolved. Luo Li touched her arms and fell in love with Huo Lang, President Feng Yen will burn forever. Rex Shadow Blade Iron Wall Holy Light knelt down and pledged loyalty. Data Divine Beast Alliance, swear to follow and surrender. 50,000 Elite Panel Jingle Level 85 Attributes 30,000 plus, the system's golden light announced with thunder, the Divine Beast Alliance conquers the collapse abyss. The core crystals belong to Lin Fan's legendary Overlord buff plus 200% of all attributes, and a new era begins. The green mist of the abyss cleared and the clear phoenix shone, and the global live broadcast exceeded 1 billion viewers to worship and shout, God Lin Fan. Jiang Chen is defeated in despair, the Divine Beast Alliance will always dominate. The green mist at the bottom of the abyss completely dissipated like a tide, and the remaining poisonous stench was evaporated into a faint burnt aroma by the afterglow of the golden-red phoenix. Beast corpses piled up like mountains on the ground, and the river of green blood and blood solidified into sticky black lumps that made a crunching sound when stepped on. The core crystal is suspended in mid-air, the golden pulse pulses as warmly as a heart, and emits blue-gold light that reflects on the faces of 50,000 elites. Each person's panel jingles continuously, and the level of experience surges, reaching an average of level 90. All attributes break the 40,000 mark, the trial tacit understanding soars by 400%, and the divine equipment suit flashes with dazzling gold edges. The cheers on the guild channel were like thunderous roars, the passionate gasps were mixed with the clanking of metal, the Phoenix Nirvana buff was permanent plus 500%, the resurrection was unlimited, the rebirth was plus 4,000%, the system announcement of the largest total combat power in the universe was thunderous across the server, and the global live broadcast exceeded 1.5 billion viewers, and the barrage was like a torrential rain. The sweat from Han Xiao Iron Tower's body evaporated into white mist. He carried the huge axe on his shoulder. The residual blood and green slurry on the axe blade dripped and corroded the stone slabs. The bloodshot eyes of the copper bells were still there, but they erupted with ecstatic light. His veins burst into laughter and he hugged Lin Fan's shoulders and shook him vigorously. The hot sweat splashed on his face like fire, Brother Fan. Axe Emperor, my strength is 16,000 plus, my defense is 17,000, my agility is 8,000, and I am unparalleled. When I singled out Jiang Chen's dog head, I instantly deducted my HP and exploded the magic weapon to the ground. I counterattacked in a sea of 100,000 Beast Emperor corpses, all thanks to your data. The Divine Pet Phoenix Thunder Beast Thunder Fire shared critical hit plus 1,200%. Level 0 attributes are 40,000, Divine Beast Alliance LV7 Overlord buff plus 300% all attributes, European and American masters knelt down and licked my axe. See, it was so exciting. His rough roar made the air buzz, and the brothers around him widened their eyes and knelt down in worship. The Shadow Blade's black robe was blurry and trembling. Black eyes flashed with tears, holding the dagger and veins exploding, he knelt down and yelled, Brother Han's Axe Emperor Divine Slash. Our agile 7,000 plus 3,000 afterimages can instantly kill the remaining party, and the crispy skin draws hatred. Brother Fan's data manipulates the torrent to drown Jiang Chen's fake death army. The total combat power of the guild has been increased 5 times and the entire server has been crushed. We are determined to follow you. Su Wan's pretty face was as red as the morning glow, her green eyes were full of tears and her breath was hot and close to Lin Fan's chest. She tightly grasped his arm and her knuckles were twitching with ice and heat. Her divine vine armor was pulsating with green light, and her vines were like a giant python coiled around crystal stones. Iron thorns were growing and sparkling with cold light, forming the ultimate phoenix formation to stabilize the defense line. 15,000 plus, the Overlord buff seamlessly stacks the whole team's HP and locks the debuff. Yongqing, Lin Fan. Qingmei's heartbeat is like thunder. Your divine wings swoop to control the crystal blue light, and the torrent backfires on Jiang Chen's remnant army. Tens of thousands of horses instantly dissolve the green slurry and the stench rises to the sky. I, the Vine Armor, am reborn plus 4,000% Nirvana channel expands to the whole area, the data of the Phoenix domain is stable plus 99%, the countdown to collapse is cleared. The guild reputation is plus 10,000, the registration of all servers is over 10 million, the Phoenix logo of the Divine Beast Alliance will shine forever. She screamed with excitement and hugged her waist, and the guild sisters were robed in white robes of holy light. The radiant green eyes caressed her arms and gasped, Sister Sue is invincible with the Divine Kingdom formation. Rebirth plus 900% breasts dance in a sea of 50,000 elite corpses, crystal buff intelligence plus 5,000 attack speed plus 8,000, live broadcast European server fans kneel down and shout for goddess logistics, they are so envious of us. Luo Li's clear eyes flashed with the residual heat of the fire wave. Her fire wand floated with red light and exploded, locking the spar tributaries. The redness and burning pain in her palms turned into warm currents of excitement. Her intelligence was 7,000 plus and the output of her Phoenix Flame robe soared to 500,000 plus. The Phoenix Thunder Beast's thunder wings flapped its wings, arced fire and rain, and linked up to seal the remaining bugs. The green vortex sizzled, evaporated, and the scorched, smelly blood river boiled. She caressed Lin Fan's arms and whispered warmly, Guild President Feng Yen is forever burning. The moment you protect the crystal, the intelligence transfer is plus 2,000, your data bubble instantly floods the Beast King hub and clears the HP 300,000, the Fire and Thunder Meteor Destruction Zone is fully opened, the guild's total combat power of level 7 is invincible, and the new era of Phoenix Domain is opened. The shield hit the ground and rocks cracked and sparks flew everywhere. He roared roughly, eyes wide and blue veins popping out in worship, Sister Luo, the fire and thunder god realm is overwhelming. We can't resist 18,000 plus tanks and can't bear the torrent. Brother Fan laid out layers of levels with plus 2,000 attribute sharing. The 90-level divine equipment set is fully opened and the trial is 500%. The panels of the brothers are clanging like crazy. Rex's blonde hair danced wildly and his blue eyes worshipped with tears. His thunder god armor danced wildly with electric arcs, and the pungent smell of ozone filled the air. His power was 8,000 plus, and the ground cracked with thunder and fire. He held the sword and shook with laughter. He knelt down and yelled, the boss of the mortal world is the data god. The live broadcast in Europe and the United States has donated more than 100 million resources. The golden and red thunder wings on the shoulders of the Phoenix Thunder Beast share a critical hit plus 1,200% and the thunder fire output plus 300%. My thunder chain breaks the chains of Jiang Chen's remnant party and pierces the bone marrow with a swishing cold. The number of masters from the Global Master Guild has been absorbed by the Divine Beast Alliance, and its dominance is permanent. The scene changed from panic and taunting to a frenzy of worship. Lin Fan is the legendary overlord. The Divine Beast Alliance conquered the core of the Abyss Spar, Jiang Chen knelt down in despair and was destroyed forever. The Guild LV7 reputation is the first in the universe, the total combat power is 10 to the power of 12 levels, the European server God of War has become a fan famous, Japanese and Korean masters knelt down and licked the Phoenix logo, and the casual players in the Asian server cried with envy. It was the best in the entire server. Passerby players stared at the screen in shock. The virtual lens captured the golden light of 50,000 elites soaring into the sky. The panel values soared like rockets, and the roars of envy turned to worship shook the soul. The golden and red thunder wings of the Phoenix Thunder Beast fluttered lightly on Lin Fan's shoulders, and the arc fire wave was hot and ozone hit his nose. His divine wings slightly unfolded and the blue light swept away the corpses. His divine eyes were deep and the light smile whispered like the afterglow of a storm. The crystal is in hand, and the flood has been resolved. Han Xiao distributed the Beast Emperor's divine outfit, Su Wan's formation upgraded the guild fortress, Luo Li sealed the tributary bug, Rex linked international resources, 5-1 Jing Rui cleared the field and upgraded. Global live broadcast, proving the new era of the Divine Beast Alliance. The golden light of the system skyrocketed, the core crystal was integrated into the pulsation of the guild's Phoenix Flames, the buffs shared across the server were plus 300% of all attributes, the experience was plus 2,000%, and the resurrection was permanent. The guild warehouse was full of LV-90 mythical beast pet fragments and mountains of rare materials, worth more than 100 billion in real currency. Han Xiao swung his axe, and Jiang Chen's black gold divine armor flew into the warehouse with a dim jingle. He laughed with blue veins popping up and distributed it to his brothers. Brother Fan is a divine gift. The axe divine suit has been upgraded to 20,000 defense and 17,000 strength. Brothers, the divine armor suit is fully activated with HP 500,000 and defense 30,000. The tacit understanding in the trial is 600% competitive invincibility. The Qingmei wind in the abyss passage blows coolly on the face. The vine formation expands into a fortress and a high tower. The golden red phoenix shines and pulses. Su Wan's pretty face is crimson and she designs the ultimate phoenix formation. Green awns, vines, and thorns interweave with the iron wall. The 20,000 plus defense line stabilizes the source of the collapse. She hugs Lin Fan's waist and screams with hot breath, "Look at Lin Fan." Qingmei's ultimate formation buff stacks up to Overlord plus 400%, the Phoenix Nirvana formation spirit is reborn infinitely, the guild fortress's total combat power increases tenfold, the guild war invitation for all servers explodes, and Jiang Chen's Dark Dynasty ruins resources are all consumed. The buzzing heat wave was rolling, and she touched her arms with clear eyes. President, the tributary bugs are fully sealed with intelligence plus 6,000 and output 600,000 plus. The Phoenix Thunder Beast Fire Thunder God's domain is permanent, and the new era Mage's Paradise. 50,000 elites dispersed to clear the field, the afterimages of axes swished, the dagger's cold light killed continuously, and the thunder swords the arc danced, the holy light healed and the light shone, the beast corpses jingled and exploded with experience and gold, the panel skyrocketed to level 95 with attributes of 50,000 plus, and the guild channel exploded with cheers. It's great to clear the place. The resource warehouse of the Divine Beast Alliance is overflowing, the reputation plus 20,000 is the first in the whole server, and passers-by are begging to join in the live broadcast. The world of players around the world has changed because of the Divine Beast Alliance. Rex, the god of war in the European server, broadcast his blue-eyed admiration. Under the leadership of the Mortal Overlord, the international branch of the Divine Beast Alliance has opened. European and American masters signed up 100,000 to donate divine materials. Japanese and Korean masters stared at the live broadcast room. Phoenix logo is a heaven-defying buff. Jiang, the whole server was outraged by the evidence of Chen Guda's appropriation of the bug, and the Divine Beast Alliance was invincible in the guild battle. Individuals in the Asian server cried out in envy. Lin Fan's data is shared with the Divine Pet, and the total combat power of the guild level 8 is 10 to the power of 15. The registration has exceeded 5 million, and our level 90 attribute has 50,000 dreams. Kneel down and lick the boss and take him away. Outside the guild fortress, passers-by players watched the pulsating heat wave of the Phoenix Tower, their eyes widen and trembling as they pointed. Look at the sign buff halo with plus 500% attributes in the entire area, the formation of Su Wan's Divine Kingdom, the Vine Python is invincible, and Han Zhao's Axe Patrol is invincible. Thousands of winds and thunders roared from the afterimage of Luo, the red light suspended in the Luoli fire domain was scorching. Lin Fan looked down with a faint smile on his divine wings, shocking us cannon fodder to death. The barrage turned jealous and fanatical, envy the 50,000 elite members of the Divine Beast Alliance who have transformed into a cosmic army. The crystal core divine object will always dominate, and the server in the new era is as stable as a mountain. Lin Fan's divine eyes scanned the gold veins of the crystal. The invisible data ripples hummed into the depths. The blue light flashed and the hidden code emerged like a ghostly shadow. The system prompts a low jingle like a needle piercing the soul. Asterisk warning, the crystal reveals the crisis trajectory controlled by the GM. Hidden instructions, the server is overloaded unnaturally. The GM has set up a private bug source to trigger an economic collapse. Jiang Chen is just a chess piece, and the ultimate conspiracy emerges. Asterisk, he raised his eyebrows slightly and smiled to suppress his fighting spirit. The thunder wings of the phoenix beast on his shoulders lightly vibrated and arced, hot ozone hit his nostrils, and the team's panels finally upgraded to level 100 attributes to reach the peak of the gods. Han Xiao laughed and hugged her shoulders. Brother Fan, after all the trivial matters have been cleared, the guild will be the best. What's the next battle? Su Wan hugged her waist and breathed red. Qingmei is with you, we are invincible in the new era. Luo Li touched her arms with fire waves and attached, follow me forever. Rex knelt down and shouted, global surrender. 50,000 elites roared to the sky, and the Phoenix Tower shone golden and red on the whole server. The sense of accomplishment in the aftermath was like a surge. The world was reborn because of Lin Fan, and the hidden conspiracy was waiting to explode. Lin Fan stared deeply at the core crystal with his divine eyes. His golden pulse accelerated like a furious heart. The blue-gold light was as dazzling as the bursting sun. The air was faintly filled with the pungent smell of ionized ozone. The remaining green pulp and blood clots at the bottom of the abyss shattered, and a poisonous heat wave hit his face. The 50,000 elites had just breathed out from the joy of leveling up. The guild channel was still ringing loudly, and the experience was pouring out. The panel values were rocketing towards the 100th level peak, the attributes exceeded the 60,000 mark, and the golden edge of the divine equipment suit flashed. The tacit understanding of the trial was 700%, but suddenly it froze. Live, the ghostly shadow on the surface of the crystal is distorted, and the system announcement is like thunder exploding across the server. Warning. GM Virtual Guard is activated, the crystal is overloaded and will backfire the entire domain data. Server crash countdown, 300 seconds. Intruders from the Divine Beast Alliance, you ants dare to pry into the taboo. The global live broadcast barrage instantly changed from fanatical worship to panic and screams. European and American passerby players stared at the screen with wide blue eyes and trembled. It's over. The GM is here in person. Jiang Chen's dog head is just an appetizer. Lin Fan, the data god, can't hold up the virtual guard with 1 billion HP and 5 million defense. The Phoenix sign buff has expired and is completely destroyed. Japanese and Korean masters collapsed in the live broadcast room and cried, the crystal backfired and the green mist reborn in the poisonous domain. The guild's L8 fortress withered and vines collapsed. Our individual level 90 attributes are 40,000 cannon fodder. We envy the Divine Beast Alliance and our GG. Han Xiao Iron Tower's body suddenly shook, the strength of the axe god set was 17,000 plus, and the green veins popped out like a horned dragon. The giant axe blade buzzed with thunder and light, and his copper bell eyes burst with bloodshot eyes and stared at the Shadow Guard Phantom. A 100-meter metal giant appeared, the data chains around him whizzed and whipped the air, and the cold iron collided and rang. When it was harsh, the HP bar of 1 billion flashed red and tauntingly roared, Axe Emperor Ant, thousands of afterimages to kill instantly. My data is immortal defense 5 million, attack speed is unlimited, Jiang Chen's chess pieces are destroyed, and your guild's total combat power of 10 to the power of 15 is just like dust. Han Zhao's sweat steamed up and white mist hit his nostrils, and his rough roar shook the stone slabs. It cracked open, and the fingers on Lin Fan's shoulders trembled as hot as fire. Brother Fan. GM guards the sea of axes in an instant, agility 8000, afterimage pulling, hatred, debuff, chain corrosion power minus 5000, fortress defense 20,000, vines sizzling and dissolving, green pulp stench rising to the sky. 50,000 brothers panel ding when the alarm HP dropped wildly, the fans in the live broadcast European server collapsed and shouted that we were finished. The Shadow Blade's black-robed afterimage was blurred and trembled. His black eyes were filled with tears and he was kneeling with veins bursting out. Brother Axe Emperor can't handle it. The agility of 7,000 instant kill chain rebounds, we are so fragile that we can't hold back the hatred. Brother Fan, the data god, help us. Su Wan's pretty face turned as white as paper in an instant, her green eyes were filled with tears of fear, her hot breath gripped Lin Fan's arm knuckles with coldness and twitching, the vine armor of the kingdom of God withered and cracked with dim green light, the vine python withered and cracked, she screamed and hugged her waist, trembling like a candle in the wind. Lin Fan. Qingmei's heart is broken. GM command corrosion formation is stable -99%, Nirvana buff plus 500% invalidation, the rebirth channel collapsed, the HP lock was full and shattered, 50,000 elite green slurries corroded the flesh and dissolved the flesh, the stench filled the nose, the reputation of the guild was greatly reduced and the world was ridiculing. The golden and red pulse of the phoenix in the LV8 tower of the Divine Beast Alliance was stagnant. The guild sister's white robe of holy light dimmed, and her green eyes turned to despair as she caressed her arms and gasped and sobbed. Sister Su's divine kingdom is powerless. Rebirth plus 900% milk cannot withstand the data chain, debuff global intelligence -6000 attack speed returns to 0, passers-by's live broadcast barrage laughs at our aunt's dreams. Luo Li's clear eyes were extinguished by the fire waves, which were red, swollen and burning, her fire wand suspended red light and collapsed, and the palm of her hand was bone-piercingly hot, her intelligence was 7000 plus output burst when it fell to 0, the phoenix flame robe was burnt black and filled with smoke, and Lin Fan's arms were clinging to each other. He moaned and screamed, "President, the seal of the fire and thunder god realm has expired. The GM guard fire rain meteor has backfired and transferred intelligence to burst the load. The tributary bug green slurry is reborn infinitely. The European and American Master Rex's blue eyes are panicking. The red alarm on our team's panel is flashing and we are finished." Rex's blonde hair danced wildly and his blue eyes burst into tears. The ozone smell of his thunder god armor faded away intermittently. His 8,000 plus power of thunder and fire slashed through the air and buzzed ineffectively. He held the sword tremblingly and knelt down and roared with blue veins popping out, "Boss of mortal world. 100,000 masters of the International Alliance donated money. The sacrifice of the divine material was in vain, the GM chain snapped my thunder chain, the number of the guild dropped wildly, the live broadcast exceeded 100 million viewers, and the dominance of the Divine Beast Alliance was shaken. The iron wall and the giant shield smashed to the ground, rocks cracked and sparks flew, but it was powerless." He roared and stared in admiration, turning to despair. Tanks with 18,000 plus defense can't withstand the torrent of data, which backfires with 500,000 HP in an instant. Our tacit understanding as brothers in holding the formation has returned to 0 in the trial. Where is Brother Fan's magical skill? Players from all over the world gathered around the outside of the Phoenix Tower, staring and trembling. The green mist surged again and filled the nostrils with a poisonous smell. See the GM giant spirit mocking Lin Fan as a clown, the blue light of the spar turning around and swallowing the black shadow, Jiang Chen's dog head resurrected and projecting laughter, the sea of 50,000 elite corpses of the Divine Beast Alliance being reborn, envy turned into taunting the whole server. GG, the dream of the new era is shattered. The golden and red thunder wings of the Phoenix Thunder Beast on Lin Fan's shoulders suddenly gathered together, and the electric arc swished dimly. The hot ozone hit his nose, and his eyebrows were slightly raised. His eyes were deep, blue light erupted, and the ripples of data buzzed like a storm. A faint smile and a whisper resounded throughout the entire frequency range. The suppressed fighting spirit turned into thunder. Ting, GM conspiracy, open to the whole server. He hacked the system and awakened the golden light. He pressed the crystal with his palm, and the golden veins pulsed violently. The blue-gold light pierced the shadow guard, and the system announced that the world was thundering. The core crystal is activated. Revealing the truth, GM secretly set up the source of the bug, created an overload crisis to test the limits of players, and induced economic collapse. Jiang Chen was just a pawn. The data backlash of the Divine Beast Alliance was activated, and all players in the server jointly purified. The live barrage started from the desperate defection frenzy, Lin Fan, the hacker god. The crystal blue light reversed the GM chain and shattered, the Phoenix logo golden red rekindled buff plus 600%, all attributes exploded, and our individual panel ding dong experience plus 3000% joined the backlash. Han Xiao Tongling's eyes widened and his bloodshot eyes faded. He burst into ecstasy. The strength of the axe god set soared to 19,000 plus defense 22,000, agility 9,000, and the afterimages were reborn. His giant axe blade struck the guard with thunder and lightning, and the chains broke. Hot sweat evaporated and white mist mixed with the smell of burnt iron. He laughed and hugged Lin Fan. He shook his shoulders vigorously and his face was burning. Brother Fan's hacker invasion is against the sky. The Sea of Axe's unparalleled critical hit plus 1500% instant kill GM clones HP deducted 100 million, the brothers' panel attributes exceeded 70,000 by 800% in the trial, and the guild's total combat power was 10 to the power of 18, the universe exploded. 5,000 blurred shadows in the black robe of the Shadow Blade, the black eyes flashed with tears, and the veins exploded in the grip of the dagger, kneeling and roaring, charging. Brother Fan shares the data of the divine pet. The agility of the 8,000 instant kill guard Wei Jingdian opened her hatred and vowed to follow the hacker overlord to the death. Su Wan's pretty face turned red like the morning glow, her green eyes were filled with tears and she was breathing fast. The vine armor of the divine kingdom exploded with green light, and the vines and pythons coiled around the guards. The iron thorns penetrated the cold light. She screamed in excitement and hugged Lin Fan's waist. She snuggled hotly, Lin Fan, Qingmei will always be with you. The ultimate Phoenix formation is stable plus 100% defense 250-0-0 plus Nirvana plus 600% unlimited rebirth, debuff backlash against all GMs, Guild Fortress LV9 Tower, golden and red pulsating heat waves rolling into the logistics paradise of the whole server. The Holy Light Sisters' white robes shine with light, caressing their arms and gasping in admiration, Sister Sue's divine kingdom linkage. Rebirth plus 1200% tits, 50,000 elite HP capped, live broadcast of global goddesses kneeling and licking. Luo Li's clear eyes and fire wave rekindled the red glow, the fire staff levitated and locked the guard hub. Her intelligence reached 8,000 plus her output soared to 800,000 plus her phoenix robe, her fire and thunder meteorite swished down. The heat wave was scorching and the scorching smell filled the air. She caressed Lin Fan's arms and moaned passionately, turning into a roar, President Hacker God's domain. Intelligence transfer plus 3,000 fire and thunder forever burning to seal the GM core, the tributary bug green slurry evaporates and the blood river boils. The giant iron wall smashed into the ground and rocks cracked, sparks flew everywhere, defense 20,000 plus HP 600,000, he roared and charged in worship, Sister Luo, the fire field is overwhelming. The tank can carry the backlash torrent without moving, and the divine equipment is fully activated, we are 900% competitive in the test. Rex's blue eyes burst into tears, he laughed and knelt down, roared, held his sword and slashed the ground with thunder and fire, buzzing, boss mortal invasion of the server. The European and American League's 200,000 mastermind chain linkage donation exceeded 100 billion, critical hit plus 1800% output plus 500%, GM defended Wei's HP dropped wildly and the whole server surrendered. The global barrage rained down, Lin Fan's legendary hacker. The data backlash flooded the GM giant, Jiang Chen's projection kneeled down in remorse, the Phoenix logo buff's attributes increased by 700% across the server, and passers-by were envious and cried out to sign up for tens of millions. Lin Fan's golden and red divine wings fully unfolded, and the blue light data bubble surged towards the core of the server like a tsunami. The golden light of his hacking skills increased his intelligence to 9,000 plus attack speed plus 10,000. The thunder wings on the shoulders of the Phoenix Thunder Beast fluttered and the electric arc and fire rain swished and shared the whole team. The crystal gold veins were integrated into the guild logo. The Phoenix flames pulsated and buzzed, and the panels of all players in the server jingled and counterattacked, the torrent of green mist evaporated into a column of burnt black smoke, the poisonous stench filled the sky, the data chain of the GM guard Jin snapped, and the HP 1 billion was instantly cleared, and the virtual body disintegrated and the metal fragments jingled to the ground. After the collision, the system announced a thunderous roar, GM guards defeated. Server purification completed, upgrade to eternal mode, no bugs, no overload, experience plus 5000%, all attributes capped at 100,000, guild sustainable buff plus 1000%. Lin Fan, the legendary overlord of the Divine Beast Alliance. 50,000 elites roared to the sky, the afterimages of axes whizzed, the fire rain meteors roared, the vines and iron thorns rattled, the thunder chains and arcs danced, and the holy light shone brightly. The panel values reached the god-level limit, and the guild warehouse was filled with eternal divine materials worth trillions. The afterimage of Jiang Chen struggled to emerge from the green liquid, and the black gold divine armor dimmed and his HP returned to 0. He knelt on the ground with blood-stained eyes trembling with regret and tears, and cried out in a rough voice with bulging veins, "Lin Fan, I was wrong. The GM chess piece stole the bug profit, the Dark Dynasty was completely wiped out and repented to join, the Divine Beast Alliance will spare their lives and swear allegiance to them." Han Xiao swung his axe and approached with a loud laugh, "Kneel down on your knees. Brother Fan, spare you, the Axe Emperor's surveillance power is shared with 30,000, and you will be reincarnated as a slave." Lin Fandan said smiling and nodding, the blue light of the god's eyes swept across, Jiang Chen's panel ding-dang reincarnated LV1 attributes were reset to 0 but the buffs were superimposed to follow, the global live broadcast barrage was crazy, Jiang Chen's dog head turned into fans. The Divine Beast Alliance tolerates the Overlord, Lin Fan's magnanimity is the best in the universe. Su Wan hugged her waist and screamed, witness Qingmei. The dark resources have swallowed up all the guild level 10, and the total combat power is 10 to the power of 20, Jiang Chen repented and contributed. Luo Li's arms were touched by fire waves, Eternal Burn's new ally, the Fire Thunder God's domain is expanding. The cool wind blows in the Abyss Passage, the golden and red phoenix eternal shine in the tower of the fortress is pulsating and the heat wave hits the face. Lin Fan arranges a global celebration, the all-server teleportation array is opened. The Phoenix Square is crowded with tens of millions of players. The panel has a capped attribute of 100,000 divine equipment flashing. The guild channel cheers like thunder and roars. The experience of the Golden Mountain Eternal Flow trial is 1000%. Han Xiao carried the afterimage of the patrol with an axe and laughed loudly, Brother Fan is celebrating with a sea of axes. Masters from all servers kneel down and lick us from level 90 to god level to 100 plus, it's so exciting. Su Wan's divine country's vine armor and green light built a celebration formation to prevent unlimited channel expansion, her pretty face turned red. Red snuggles up to Lin Fan's hot breath, Qingmei designs the Eternal Phoenix logo, and the buffs are shared by all servers. Nirvana is invincible, a new era of logistics paradise. Luo Li's fire stick red light fire rain celebration fireworks and heat wave rolling, President's fire and thunder meteor ignites the night sky, and his intelligence is capped at 1 output million plus mage paradise. Rex Blue Eyes worship broadcast, European, American, Japanese, Korean and Asian servers are unified, the international headquarters of the Divine Beast Alliance is opened, and eternal resources are donated to exceed 1 trillion. Shadowblade Instant Kill Patrol, Holy Light Milk to occupy the entire audience, Iron Wall tanks to protect, Jiang Chen bows his head to serve, 50,000 elite cosmic legions, passers-by and players turn to envy and admiration to watch the screen, I'm so jealous. Lin Fan looked down with his divine wings and smiled lightly, Phoenix Thunder Beast's thunder wings fluttered and ozone hit his nostrils, guild level 10 reputation, eternal supremacy in the universe, the server is eternal and we are reborn. Lin Fan stood on the top of the Phoenix Tower, his divine eyes scanned the whole server and everyone was worshipping him. The golden and red Phoenix Thunder Beast on his shoulders pulsed to share the critical hit plus 2000%. He smiled softly and whispered in the eternal mode, the League of Divine Beasts, dominate the new era. The whole server cheered, and the legend continued. Players around the world roared and shocked the system. The golden light is forever, the economy is recovering, real money is skyrocketing, the live broadcast has exceeded 5 billion, and the barrage is flowing forever, Lin Fan is the eternal overlord. The phoenix of the Divine Beast Alliance shines on the Tianyu Continent, the story is complete, and the new beginning is endless glory. The afterglow of the abyss is forever burning, and the world is reborn because of Lin Fan, and the sense of refreshment surges forever. The pulsation of the core crystal in the green mist suddenly stopped and the buzzing turned low. The red-eyed boss roared and cracked the earth, and the blood light surged. The whole server cheered and the system alarm was glaring with red light. Ultimate crisis, the core crystal appears at the bottom of the abyss where bugs originate. LV-60 Guardian Beast Herd HP 200,000, defense against 10,000 poison areas, 50 hours countdown to the restart of the torrent. Overlord Lin Fan, the Divine Beast Alliance faces the abyss. Lin Fan locked his eyes on the black hole of the abyss, flapped his divine wings and smiled with fighting spirit. Core crystal. The final home.